Okay, we're rolling.
We're
Just
rolling.
for clarity's sake, it's July 1st, 2018.
2018.
Start at 1 o'clock in the afternoon here at 256 Goodell Road. Beautiful uptown Petersburg. and take it away.
And it's 100 degrees outside.
Yes.
So that's the reason why we're inside. So I am David Schmidt. This is my father. What's your name?
Ron Schmidt,
When were you born?
November 12th, 1941,
Where were you born?
in Buffalo, New York.
Who were your parents?
Lorenzo Dow Schmidt and Violet Schmidt. I can't remember her middle name right now.
All right.
I think it was Emma, but I could.
Do you know how old your parents were when they were born?
No. Oh, when they were when I was born?
How old your parents were when you were born?
No, I can tell you when they were born, but I
All
can't tell you. My father was born in 1909.
09?
Salamanca, New York. My mother was born in 1912 in Buffalo, New York.
Do you know how they met?
No. Well, I think they lived in the neighborhood where they grew up.
South Buffalo?
South Buffalo, yes. In Spalding. And Spalding. Yeah, they both lived on Spalding Street. Different sections of Spalding Street in South Buffalo.
Between what roads? Do you know?
I'm going to say Durant, but they might be wrong.
Durant Road?
Yeah,
Around that area?
Around that area, South Buffalo.
So you think they both lived there, that's how they met somehow?
I believe so. I could be wrong.
And that's where you were born in Spalding?
I was born on Spalding.
Spalding Ave?
Well, yeah.
Spalding Street?
No, Ave. Well, does that matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
I don't know if it's a street or Ave.
You remember the number?
55.
And do you know if that house still exists?
It still exists. We lived on the second floor. We rented there.
Do you remember who your landlords were?
Bifocals. They were
Bifocalists?
Yeah, bifocal. They were Italians.
Were they in the eyeglass business?
No,
That was their last name.
that was your last name. Right.
Do you remember them?
Oh yeah.
Were they like godparents to you?
Not really. But I remember they got a TV. I don't know when the TV's first coming. I remember going downstairs and watch TV down there.
Black and white?
Black, of course, black and white, real small screen too.
So what year do you think they got the TV?
No, I don't know that.
But you were born in 41.
Right.
So you're never going down. So it's probably in the
Right.
early.
And walking into
Really
the house, it always smelled Italian food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they cook for you?
Well, I don't know. I don't think my mom liked the smell of the food.
Your mom?
Yeah, my mom.
Violet.
Yeah, Violet didn't like it. Yeah.
What kind of food did your mom cook?
German mostly, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, German.
Potatoes and roasts?
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember the spaghetti wasn't the same as their spaghetti.
Yeah.
It was more of a ground beef and more watery. It was okay.
Yeah.
I remember eating it, yeah. 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 We used to have coal heat,
Yeah.
an ice box.
So they would deliver ice
They deliver ice.
daily?
Yeah. I can't remember if it
Yeah.
was daily. And you had a milkman come with milk.
And you guys would shovel coal? You said coal heat?
Yeah, it was cold. They dump a coal in the basement, and then you had to go down and
They
make sure.
shovel it in?
Well, I don't remember doing that originally, but
Yeah.
eventually, yes.
Was that
Then
it?
you had to stoke it at night, so you got heat during the night. During the night when you were sleeping,
Yeah.
right?
Was that part of any of your chores?
Well, eventually, I used to go had to do it. I'm
Yeah.
sure I didn't do it in the beginning.
You got one sister and two brothers, correct?
Right,
And who's your sister?
Jean.
And she how many years older is she?
She was born in '35, I believe.
So he's 6 years older.
Yeah.
Somewhere around thereabouts.
Right.
And you got Robert and Kenneth, correct?
Kenneth was 46 October, and Robert was May of 49. 51. May 29th of 1951.
And did you guys get along well growing up?
Yes, I remember it, yeah.
So between Gene and Kenneth, it was what, 14 years?
35 and 46.
So that's 11 years.
11 years.
And Robert was 49?
51.
51.
Right.
So she was 16 when he was born.
Yeah, yeah.
Did they get along well? Or was there a limited reaction because she was so limited?
It was kind of limited, especially in latter years when my father was, well, we can go into that a little later.
Sure. You can go into what you don't want to go into.
Well, I was just thinking of, my father was, he had a good job, but he drank too much.
Yeah.
And he used to drink his money away.
What was his job?
He was a carpenter, basically.
Yeah. What kind of carpentry?
Well, he did some. He worked at Children's Hospital and did carpentry there. Eventually, he got a job at Republic Steel.
Yeah.
As a carpenter, which used to be on Salt Park Avenue. It's no longer there.
So that'd be north of Bethlehem Steel, then, right?
That'd be south.
Okay.
As you're going into the city on Salt Park.
What was that big steel mill that?
That was Bethlehem Steel. That was in Rockland.
What was the one that I worked in South Buffalo or Lackawanna? Went to that nice restaurant a couple years back.
Mahoney's or something like that.
Yeah.
That's Bethlehem Steel.
That was Bethlehem Steel as well.
That's Bethlehem Steel.
Okay.
Right.
But where I'm talking about was much further south than where you lived.
South.
Yeah.
If you know on Salt Park, I lived off Salt Park Avenue.
Yeah.
You have to go south to go to the Republic Steel.
Okay.
Right.
How did he get there? Bus?
I imagine so. Yeah, because he never drove. None of my parents ever had a car.
So obviously they never had a license either.
Yeah. Right.
So who got their license first? You or Gene?
I would say Gene. I'm not 100% sure of that. I would say Gene, but I can't remember her having a car though. So I don't know if she
did. Did you get your license before you had a car?
Did I have? No, I had a car before I had my license.
You had a car before your license? Is that the one Aunt Faye got you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Did Aunt Faye give you a car?
She let me drive her car to do my permit and everything.
And who's Aunt Faye?
Aunt Faye is my mother's sister.
Okay. And how many siblings did your
There was 11 in the family. In their family.
I'm not going to ask your name.
No, don't, because I probably won't remember them all.
Yeah.
I'll forget one along the way.
I was going to grab the list, but it's in the baby's room, and Arlo's sleeping, so that took precedence today. And it was in the safe in the back of the closet.
Yeah.
And well, maybe we can add it in later.
Okay.
Did you go to church when you were young?
Yes.
What kind of church? Remember?
South Park Baptist.
So
the same church I got married in.
Okay. That's on South Park?
It's on Southside Parkway, across from South Park High School.
All right. Is that church still there?
It's still there, but it's got a different name now.
But so it's no longer a Baptist church?
It's called New Shepherd. That's all. I don't know if it's Baptist or not. I'm thinking about a question they asked me now.
I'm just rolling down through. If there's something you want to elaborate on, you feel free to welcome.
Well, I remember.
Feel free to go ahead.
Well, when I lived on Spalding Street, I used to go over my grandmother's house there. That's where Aunt Faye lived and Aunt Dorothy lived also. And I remember Aunt Faye used to work at General Mills, which is still in Buffalo, by the way. And she used to work different shifts. And I used to go over their house quite a bit for eating, especially when Aunt Faye was home.
You were closest with Aunt Faye?
As close as to Aunt Faye, right.
Was she like a mother to you, or just a good aunt?
No, just a good aunt. I think, I remember, and it's always helpful. Always, well, when I wanted to meet your mother in New York City, when she flew over for the first time, Aunt Faye let me use her car to go down and pick her up. So, and I remember she let me go to Cooperstown with her, with my mother. We went to Cooperstown one time to visit it, to see the Baseball Hall of Fame. And she let me drive I only had a permit then. She let me drive the distance there and so forth.
You know what kind of car that was?
A Chevy of some sort. And I know Mom was nervous as heck. You're letting him drive?
Your mom?
My mom, yes. She was nervous. Not as bad as Goodrich, though. As I remember that.
But she never drove, though, Violet?
No, none of them ever. No, my father or my mother, no.
You find that odd, or that was just a time?
Well, you find it odd now when you think about it.
Sure.
Yeah, because everybody drives. There's not one car in the driveway. There's 6 or 7 now.
Sure.
So, we used to play football on the streets. We could play football. I mean, there wasn't many cars going up and down the street. So.
How did you like elementary school?
Well, I went to public school 28 till 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And then we moved.
Yeah.
And then I went to public school 29, which was... Yeah.
Do you remember any influential teachers when you were growing up there?
Mrs. Lamy at 28.
Lamy?
Lamy.
Lamy.
I don't know how do you spell it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it doesn't matter.
But I didn't like her, and she made me fail 3rd grade.
Oh,
It was
no.
the only grade I failed. Yeah.
So you had to do 3rd grade
I had to
twice?
do it over again, yeah. So,
That was at PS
yeah, that was at 28.
28. Then you went
We used to
20
walk to school. You know,
Yeah.
we used to walk. We walked to the other school, too.
uphill both ways?
Uphill? No, it wasn't uphill. It had no hills.
No.
Just along the streets
Yeah.
and so forth. They didn't have buses then.
So everyone walked to school.
Well, I would say in most cases, yeah, I would
Yeah.
think so.
How big were your classes? Do you remember?
Meh. So the younger years, I can't remember how big they were, but when I went to public school 29, they were, I would say, probably middle 20s and maybe a little more.
And how many grades was at public school 29?
They went to 8th grade.
Went to 8th grade.
Yeah,
And that's where you went through 8th grade?
through 8th grade. That's where I graduated.
And then you went to high school?
I went to high school,
Which high school?
Beauregard Vocational High School. I had to take 2 buses to get there.
2 public buses.
Two public.
What makes it a vocational high school?
You were taught a trade.
Yeah.
They had automobile mechanics, aviation mechanics, printing, and I think the other one was boat building.
So do you have a choice between high schools to go to was there a regular high school back then? And
Well, I could have went to
vocational?
South Park Baptist, but
Yeah.
I wanted to get a job from or something.
So that was your choice? Or did
That was my choice, but you had to take a pre-entrance to see if you had enough qualifications to get there.
Yeah. And did your dad encourage that?
I would say no.
He preferred you went to the regular high
I
school?
would say, there was a period in time that we didn't know where my dad was.
So that was when you were young as well?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So at the time when you were going to high school, I don't want to say he was non-existent, but he just wasn't a
Yeah,
direct part of your life?
I I can't actually remember, but I remember many times when he used to come home from work already, and I would protect my mother because he would get violent when
Yeah.
he drank.
Yeah,
And that's one of the reasons when you were born,
yeah.
I quit drinking totally.
Because you didn't want to be the same.
I didn't want you to grow up in that kind of an atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I didn't drink for I don't know how many years.
That was a good, at least
Yeah.
20.
Yeah, at least 20, yes.
Yeah. So I never.
After you were born.
Yeah.
I mean. Yeah.
Who were were your grandparents involved in your life growing up?
Well, I think my mother's grandparents were
Do you remember their
more
names?
so. Charles and Ida.
Charles and Ida.
Yeah.
Do you know what they did for a living?
No. But she was most of the mothers back then didn't work.
Sure.
Yeah.
What about your dad? Do you remember his parents?
Yeah. Nicholas and I can't think of her name. I was going to say Claudia, but I don't think that was her name.
You had Aunt Claudia.
Yeah, I have an Aunt Claudia. Yeah, I had an Aunt.
That's the one we called Toots, right?
Yeah, that's the one called Toots. We had Aunt Bertie was over there, church.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was Aunt Madeline. She lived down in Kentucky.
Do you know why she moved to Kentucky?
Her husband was there. Whoever she married, they moved there. And then there was Robert. Was an old. I think he was an older brother than my father.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did any of these relatives that you know go off to World War I? Or two?
No. My father did. He was in the Navy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he see action in Europe?
Yeah, yes. He was on a ship though.
Do you know what ship it was?
No.
Do you know what his rank or what he
No.
did?
No, don't know.
That was before your time?
Yeah, he might have been just a carpenter who was on a ship.
Fair
Who
enough.
knows? You know.
Carpenter on a steel ship?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they had to have things made out of wood.
Yeah.
Gotta be a good carpenter in
Yeah.
this
You
case.
did get the carpenter on a steel ship.
That's the photographer over there.
Yeah.
His comment was there.
This
Now, on this street that I would grow up on,
Yeah.
across the street was a field. So it was all fields.
Yeah. What did you do in the fields?
Oh, we used to play in there.
Yeah.
That was a hideout and everything. In the winter, or in the fall, in the spring, it used to be, had water in it.
Okay.
And I used to go in the water.
Go swimming?
No swimming. You would go swimming there, but I remember getting.
So it was just a wet area.
Yeah, it was a wet area, and it maybe got, deep in some places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for fun, you would
You
go there.
just yeah. You used to have a path to go through it, but the water wasn't there. The path was
You
up
and your
high.
siblings, or you and your friends, or who?
Well, everybody. I
Yeah.
remember my Aunt Dorothy, when she came from work, she would run through the path. She was always, my Aunt Dorothy was always somebody that moved quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was her, Aunt Faye, and Aunt Nenda lived in the house,
In the same house.
in that same, when I was growing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my Uncle Honey, he lived next door too. His name was William though, but his name was Honey.
Honey,
And he was
yeah.
married to Ann Garnet. And he eventually moved they moved out to Hamburg, and then they moved south to Florida.
So Uncle Honey, he was whose brother?
He was my mother's brother.
Was he older or younger than your mom?
I don't recall that. Couldn't say the ages. Didn't worry about that.
Do you remember any childhood friends outside the family?
Not so much there. I don't remember the friends. No, I don't remember. Not saying there was. I mean, it was only there to third grade. So,
How often do you go to church?
well, I would say back then when I was there, we lived there. It was, I would think, most Sundays.
Yeah.
But the parents didn't go. It was mostly the kids
Okay.
that went. And it was always my mom that made me make sure I was going to church. Even
Sure.
when we moved further away from the church, I would have to get up on Sundays and she'd shoo me to church, the same church, but
Yeah.
it was a good walking distance. It's a good walking distance. I would say probably a good mile.
Yeah. So it took you a good 20, 25 minutes, half hour.
Yeah.
Did you just go to regular service, or was it like kids service?
It was a kids' service, more Sunday school. You could go up to the service, but after they had Sunday school first, and then they had the service afterwards. And there was a gym up on the second floor. That's where they played basketball.
In the church. There's
in
a
the
gym.
church, in the church gym. Not on Sundays, on maybe Sunday night or something like that. Or
It'd be distracting. You shooting hoops while the guy's giving the sermon.
no, yeah, it was. Well, it doesn't matter. It was in the same church area building, but it was really a distance from there.
All right. This vocational high school, what was it called again?
Burgard Vocational.
Were there any girls that went there?
No, it was all. No.
How many was in your graduating class? You remember? Could you guesstimate? More than 200?
No, I wasn't that big. No. I would say 75. Now it's one of the worst schools in Buffalo.
Is it still called?
It's still called Burgard Vocational. They don't teach everything the same. I mean, they still have some of the. I don't know all they have there, but they don't have aviation anymore or boat building. They still have auto mechanics.
And what was your trade?
Aviation.
Aviation. So what kind of things did you learn about aerodynamics and?
Well, we learned that we had to learn the program. If you got into the aviation field, was if you qualified, you had to go 5 years.
Okay.
Are we talking too much?
So we haven't begun.
Yeah, I'm still in high school.
Really? The bloom is barely off the rose. Okay, so you were talking about the program of aviation study that you
Right.
did.
And back into talking?
Yeah, pick that up.
Okay. And I did quite well there in that. In fact, I wanted to pursue that, and I don't know how many of us pursued it to the 5th year into the class, but along the way, once we got further into that year, when we were getting close to the end of the year, we had to travel to Rochester to take parts of the FAA exam.
Okay.
So all of us went there. I forgot how we got there. I think maybe by school bus they took us there.
On a daily basis?
Well, we had to go just for one day. Then there was
okay.
other parts, but this was just for the first parts of some of the tests,
Okay.
of the tests that we had to take and see how well we did.
Did you have to do much extracurricular studying to pass these tests, or?
Well, it was all on paper.
Oh, yeah?
There was no practical work in it.
Okay.
So there would be practical work further on.
Yeah.
So we took the tests, all of us that went there. And we came back and I don't know when we found out the results of the tests we took, but nobody passed.
Huh.
Nobody passed any parts of it. And at that time, I decided that wasn't for me.
Hmm.
If I wasn't taught properly,
Yeah.
somebody should have passed something.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I felt. So I think the teachers
Failed you.
failed us.
Yeah.
I know Mom was very upset. Most everybody of the adults around me were very upset that I was doing that. And they tried to get me to go back. And at the time...
They were upset that you gave it up?
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to say?
Yeah, right. And I can understand that now more so.
Sure.
But back then, that did it.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I think did it, I was working at that time part-time.
Where were we working?
Sears and Roebuck.
All right.
As an auto, I worked on working on cars and that.
Did your vocational high school help you at all working on cars?
It might have a little bit.
Yeah.
It gave me a sense of it anyways, especially the practical work.
Yeah.
But I started at Sears as work pumping gas.
Which Sears?
Well, it's no longer there. It was on Main Street next to Canisius High School.
Okay. Still in South Buffalo?
No, this is... I used to go there. Mom used to take me there to buy shoes and clothes.
Yeah.
And you had to take 2 buses to get there.
To get to the Sears.
You're right. You had to take a South Park bus, then you had to take another bus further up.
Well, the joke here in Petersburg is that everything is 40 minutes away.
Yeah, I would say
So
that.
everything you had to do was 2 buses
Well,
away?
you're right. Well, that anyways, because
Yeah.
that was the only Sears store at the time. There was one in South Buffalo, but they didn't sell, everything there at that store.
So how many gas pumps do they have at this Sears?
But when I got there, I'm trying to think 1, 2, and they're not like the gas pumps you have today.
Sure.
I think there was 2. There was 2 pumps, and you could drive on either side.
So how'd you find out about this job?
Somebody that worked there worked at I knew from church. Oh well, Mom knew from church.
Yeah.
And he worked at Sears, so he kind of.
Grease some wheels?
Well, yeah, like they say, sometimes it's best you know somebody.
Yeah.
So that's where they put me when I went there. Eventually, I went inside and worked on cars.
Did you have a uniform?
Yeah, you had Sears coveralls.
So people would pull up and ding ding, you'd run out there and
Well, yeah.
you'd ask them what they wanted, they'd fill it up?
Yeah, you fill it up or put $2 in.
Yeah.
It was only, I don't know how much gas was.
But with guess though, you have to guess.
No, it would have to be in teens.
Yeah. Cents.
Yeah, cents, yeah.
15 cents or
Yeah,
something.
something, whatever.
A gallon.
Right, because when I went to Sears and helped open the store in where I live now, Eastern Hills,
Yeah.
well, gas was 25 cents there, and that was 1970.
So how old were you when you started at Sears then?
Well, it was right after I graduated, so it was probably 1960.
So that puts you at 18 or 19?
Yeah, right. No, I had to be old. Couldn't be that old. Must have been, well, maybe 59. I failed the grade too, don't forget.
Yeah.
3rd grade. Yeah, that's a possibility, yeah.
So
59 or 60 I graduated.
what did your high school friends call you?
Schmidt, a lot of them called me.
What about at Sears? Same?
Yeah, I would say there, yeah.
Because you were born Ronnie.
I was born Ronnie. I didn't like that then.
No. Was there a reason why you were named that?
No, the only thing I could think of, my father's name was Lorenzo,
Yeah.
but everybody called him Rennie. Now, I don't know if it had any bearing on why
Yeah.
Ronnie came about,
Yeah.
but why Ronnie came about, I have no idea. As you know, I don't like Ronnie.
Yeah, I know that.
But I kept it. I didn't change it.
We thought for practical joke, we tell you that we were named Arlo Ronnie.
So,
But I couldn't do that to you.
so I make sure all my good friends call me Ron, that they
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah. You know where Jean, Kenneth, or Robert name came from?
Jeanette, no. Her real name is Jeanette.
Yeah.
Kenneth is Kenneth. Robert is Robert, yeah.
But do you know if
No.
they were named after anyone
No.
in particular?
Well, now Robert could have been named after my father's brother. I don't know. It's a possibility. Kenneth, I know. Jeanette, I don't know either. No, if who they were named after, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
They maybe Gene could tell you more of that.
Yeah. What's the first movie you remember going to?
I can't remember, but Aunt Faye used to take me to a lot of movies.
Yeah.
It was on South Park Avenue called The Capitol.
Yeah.
And you could go to the movies and see 2 movies.
Yeah. How much were they? Guess.
Nickels or dimes.
Sure.
Maybe not even that.
Yeah.
I can't remember. And then you had the candy bar or whatever.
Yeah.
You get candy and that, and you'd be there all afternoon to see 2 movies.
Yeah. And
Intermission in between the first and the second, and then they have a news thing.
yeah.
You could go up there, talk about the wars that were going on or
Sure.
whatever was going on around the world.
And Faye would take you?
Faye would take, or you could go with kids in the neighborhood too,
Sure.
or somebody would.
And would Faye drop you off, or she'd go there and sit with you?
No, you'd walk there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they would walk there. I mean, it wasn't. Well, it was. Today's age, it might be far, but I don't
Yeah.
think so. Back then, it's
Mm.
called the Capitals. I mean, it's still there, but it's not a movie theater anymore. I don't know what's there now exactly.
And did Jean, Robert, or Kenneth go with you?
Gene might have. I can't remember. No, Robert. No, not Robert. I don't think that there was a theater then when they
Yeah.
were growing up.
Okay.
Yeah,
What kind of, and did I, and
there was a lot of cowboy movies then. I remember
Yeah.
going to.
that would be in the 50s?
Roy Rogers, Gene
Yeah.
Autry, Tom Mix, Hopalong Cassidy.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite movie growing up?
I would think Roy Rogers and that.
Yeah.
As I got older, of course, there was different movies that
Sure.
were better.
Would they replay movies that, or just,
Well, the movie could be up there for a week.
yeah?
Yeah.
Would they bring it back 5 years later? Or?
Well, I don't know. I can't recall that. They
Yeah.
might have. And there are all kinds of movie theaters downtown too. We used to remember take a bus up there sometimes to go see a movie downtown.
Would they have different movies there?
Yeah, different theaters. They had could be 5 or 6 movie theaters downtown.
Was the screen size the same as the screens today?
No.
Well, is it
No,
smaller?
Smaller.
Much
yeah.
smaller.
Yeah.
And how many seats were in the theater, plus or minus?
I'm guessing 100, maybe
Okay.
150. Maybe the ones downtown might have been bigger.
Yeah. And they were very flat sloped, the seating?
Yeah, they were gradually
Yeah.
slow.
Air conditioned?
I doubt it.
Fans?
Yeah, they might have had, but I don't know.
What kind of snacks would you get? Popcorn?
Something cheap.
Yeah.
Something inexpensive. I remember when living on Spalding, we used to go to this corner store and you asked for candy and went two of these and they put them in a brown bag and one of these and they put them in a brown and whatever it is and it cost you a penny or something.
Yeah.
And that's what we used to go food shopping. We had to go to the park edge. We used to have to take a wagon with us, so whatever we bought we could bring back.
Okay.
But there was another one closer that we would just get things that we needed. But if you're shopping for a long time, not a long time, but for less more than one day or something. There used to be a garbage man that came around to pick up things, old stuff you wanted to give away, like driving a horse and buggy.
Yeah.
The rag man, they used to call it. But that was on Spalding Street. That stopped.
So what would you do with your garbage? Not this guy would.
No, he wouldn't pick up your garbage.
There's other people that take your garbage every
right.
week?
Yeah. You put it out and they come and throw it in.
Yeah.
They take your ashes from your coal furnace.
That was separate?
That was separate, yeah.
Like today's recycling, that was separate?
Well, I guess so.
Yeah.
So then we moved to South Buffalo,
Yeah.
Amber Street, between 3rd and 4th grade, yeah.
Why'd you move?
Well, Mom and Dad bought a house.
Yeah.
Or had the means to buy a house.
Yeah.
And that's when I noticed more so the drinking problem
Yeah.
with my father. He wouldn't come home. There was times. And I remember at the corner of the street there was a bar.
Yeah.
And I know my mind, go see if Dad's down there.
That was
And
part
I
of
look
that.
in the window and he was there.
And you just-
Or sometimes he wasn't there. He
Yeah.
was at some other place. And he'd get paid and that's where he stopped. And
That's where it all went.
it's, well, a good portion of it.
Sure.
So my mom had to get a job.
Yeah. Where'd she work?
Sattlers.
As,
Just a clerk.
yeah, sales
And she had
clerk.
to take 2 buses to get there.
And what's Sattlers for those of us who don't know what Sattlers is?
It's an apartment store on Broadway in Fillmore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's no longer there.
Part of the Statler's no longer
Yeah.
there. Yeah, but some, I don't know if anything is there. I know it still could be something there. Or they knocked it down for a parking lot. So
Typical.
typical, right? And the family across the street were good to me.
Okay.
Raymond Zielinski's. They were Polish.
Zielinski?
Zielinski, yeah.
When was the last time you saw them?
Well, I haven't seen them in years. In fact, I don't even know if their parents are dead. But
Sure.
I don't know about the 2 kids they had.
But I mean, have you seen them
Yeah.
since you've been an adult, or
Well, yeah, moved away. We moved. No, not moved.
Were they-
I went in the army.
were they at your wedding?
No,
Okay.
no. There was a boy and a girl and the 2 parents. And the father died while I lived there, anyways. And he's a good guy. Yeah. They were good to me. I used to go over there and spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah.
And they would take me places. And he's the one that got me involved with cars too.
Okay.
He had a Bonneville convertible with the thing on the back they call it, extension. It had skirts on it in the
Okay.
back. Yeah,
What color?
it was like a dark. It was partially brown, and it had some other colors on it too. What's the extension? It has a tire on it and has
The
that's-
boot?
Huh?
The boot?
No. Well, anyways, that's what he had. Okay, where are we at now?
How'd you do in school? Did you get good, elementary, high school? Did you get good grades?
Yeah, I was on the honor roll most of the time. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you had to have good marks to get into the aviation
Sure.
program. But you had to have good marks in the aviation program that you were, part of the day you did bookwork, right? History, science, math, English, and so forth. And if I remember right, you did that in the morning schedule. In the afternoon, you went to shops like this, and you went to different welding or airframe or hydraulics.
So you've welded in your life?
Mm-hmm.
Were you a good welder?
Yeah.
Did you ever think about going to welding?
No, never thought about that.
Did you participate in any extracurricular activity at school?
I tried out for the basketball team, but
Yeah.
I wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But I used to go to a lot of basketball games. So, yeah.
Did you ever get any awards at school?
Well, you got an honor roll thing
Sure.
when you were on the honor roll, but
Yeah.
that's the only ones I really did. That I can remember.
What about, were you ever in any plays or anything?
No, they didn't have plays.
Hmm.
There's only men there. Yeah, they still have plays, I
Yeah.
guess, yeah. Or boys thing.
Yeah. Did you play a musical instrument growing up?
No.
Did you sing?
No.
Was music a part of the household?
No.
So did you guys? I assume you had a radio.
We had a radio. My mom. Well, that eventually when we moved in
To Amber Street.
the Amber Street, and I don't know when, but we had a TV too.
Yeah.
And Mom used to get mad at me. She says, "How can you? How do you get good marks in school?" She says, "Here you're watching a TV, doing your homework, and listen to the ball game on radio or whatever." And I would do that.
But you would get it done though. You
Well, I would get it done somehow, whatever I had to do.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
What ball games would you listen to?
Well, I'm trying to think when that would be. What years would be? Well, it could be baseball probably more than anything else. But I don't think they had a pro football team yet.
Are you talking about a Buffalo team or?
The Buffalo Bisons. Or
Okay.
they might not even call the Bisons then like that. I can't remember. Aunt Faye used to take me to the games too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was a big sports fan.
Yeah, she was a big sport.
She used to be a catcher.
Yeah, she's. Or that might have been Aunt Elsie was a catcher.
Aunt Elsie was a catcher? Who's the one they called Blackie?
That was Aunt Elsie.
That was Aunt Elsie.
Yeah.
What
They
was
called her Aunt Faye Tarzan.
Tarzan?
Yeah. She used to lay in the backyard and get tan.
Just
In the
like
summer
you.
anyway.
Just like you.
Just like me.
Yeah.
Right.
So Aunt Faye was Tarzan, huh?
Yeah, she was called Tarzan, right?
And what was Dorothy's nickname?
I don't know. I'm sure she had one. Everybody had a different
And
name.
Aunt Claudia was Tootsie.
Aunt Claudia, Aunt Bird was Bird. Aunt Madeline, I don't know. She was Madeline. Yeah. Aunt Ned, I don't remember what she's called. Uncle Hunt, well, he was William. And then there was another brother who lived down the street, Uncle Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
And what's his wife's name? Loretta, I think, yeah. So.
When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I wanted to be an airplane
Oh,
mechanic.
before that.
I don't know. Maybe a cowboy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be a cowboy?
Yeah, a cowboy. You know, that's what's mostly it was at the theaters you went to see.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But after everyone failed this exam, you were done with airplane
Oh,
mechanics.
I was done. I was very upset.
Yeah.
How can I do so? How can? Say there was 20 of us.
Yeah.
I don't know how many were that stayed on for the 5th year, and not one of them passed.
Yeah.
One of the parts, any part of the test that we took. That
Well,
day.
it certainly is a bad statement to the
Yeah,
teachers.
I feel
Yeah.
if anybody should say they failed, is them.
Absolutely.
Something's wrong somewhere in the program, and I believe
Absolutely.
that there was a teacher that was in charge of the program. His
Mhm.
name was Mr. Decker, or I don't know his first. I can remember a lot of the names. Becker, the guy who told Welding Pelgrim or something like that. It was Bumpus. He was the engine guy.
Bumpus?
Bumpus, Bumpus. Catalina, he toward hydraulics. And there's other ones, but Decker was the one who was in charge of the whole program at the school.
But you graduated, Burdette.
I graduated from the school.
Yeah.
I graduated in the year
Yeah.
prior.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to stay on and
Yeah.
you qualified, you could. If you wanted to try to get your license. You know.
And at some
I
point,
mean, that's why they said try.
and at the same time, you got the job at Sears.
Yeah. It's sometime along the way I got the job.
And how much do you think you were making at Sears?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't remember.
Was there a minimum wage then?
Yeah, I'm sure there was. Yeah.
So,
And eventually, I worked myself into the inside of Sears, where
Yeah.
the salespeople were that sold tires, batteries, and blah blah blah.
and that's
blah,
what you
blah.
wanted to do?
Well,
Or that was
they
just kind of
offered me
natural
they offered me a
progression?
full-time job there, but
Yeah.
that was only part-time. The other job. Then I became a parts manager there, and
So you had just become the parts manager at Sears. That sounds like a prestigious position, was it?
well, it was a position because we had people help check out car. I'm on this thing now. I take it.
Yeah.
Who check out cars. They would call like a service advisor, and they would check out a guy coming in, he wants an exhaust system check. And he would take it up and look at it and say, well, you did this, and then he maybe look at something else. And then they would come inside and we would have to give a price on what it's going to cost to get it fixed. Okay? And I would have to make sure we had stock in, and we would get replenished every so often. And if we didn't have it, we could go to a local parts house and they would deliver it to us. Okay, and I was in charge of that. So, I'm trying to think of a story now. I had to go away for something. Now, I don't know if this was after I was married or not. No, I think it was after I was married. So I went into service. Yeah, I went into service,
Mhm.
and it was in. I went to Fort Drum, and I thought for sure they would try to put me in aviation because of the schooling I had of some sort, even though I didn't have a license. And to go back again, I took a physical and I failed it originally. I had a hernia. They said you got to get it fixed. So, like a fool, if you want to look at it that way, of course, then you wouldn't have been here. I got it repaired. And the following year, they called me in again. And then I was drafted. And I had to go down to the train station in Buffalo. Central Terminal was closed. And I had to take a train ride to Fort Dix or to New York, and then they would have a bus for us and take us. Well, the day I was supposed to go, we went there, and something happened that I couldn't go that day. Or the train broke down or whatever. So I had to go home and go back the next day again. And then they took me to New York, and I went to basic training and so forth.
Where'd you go for boot camp?
Fort Drum.
So that's where you had boot camp.
Yeah. No. Fort Dix.
Thank
Fort
you.
Dix, yeah. Fort Dix, yeah.
There's no boot camp in Fort Drum.
No. But I've been to Fort.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been there too.
Where is Fort Dix located?
New Jersey.
And what year were you in boot camp?
Well, I got drafted in '64, so it was '64 to '65. I was in boot camp.
Was there anyone that you went to boot camp with that you knew?
No.
So you went there. Everyone was a stranger to you.
Yes, but there were people from Buffalo that were
Yeah.
that were in the same that I was.
And you obviously you would gravitate to these people, and you would
Right.
have there be some sort of friendship.
Right.
Is there any number from boot camp that you were good friends with after the service?
Yeah. Tony DiTondo.
Okay.
And there was other guys, but I wasn't good. And there was somebody else too, but he was from New Jersey. But he died when he got back home, when we came back home.
What do you think of boot camp? Was it what you expected? Was it silly?
Well, no, it wasn't silly. You learn discipline.
Sure.
My belief on the military, I'll just give you my belief. I think everybody that is capable of going, health-wise, they don't have anything wrong with them or anything like that, should go at least, he's saying maybe 2 years, because I didn't like the Army, but
Yeah.
still, it gives you discipline that a lot of the men need, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't learn it, you're going to get in trouble one way or another.
Yeah.
I think it gives you learn discipline. So I think it's a good thing, and I wanted to be a good soldier, anyways. I never tried to get in trouble.
Yeah. Did you have a choice whether you went to the Marines or the Army, or?
Well, then you would have to.
So, 'cause you were just drafted.
I was drafted. If I want to go to any of those, you have to put in more time.
Okay.
And I didn't know if I like it or not.
Sure.
But I know when I went in for the Army, they said I did well on tests and I could go to offer candidate school. I said, oh, that sounds nice to me. So what would I have to do? Oh, you got to sign up for 2 more years. I said, well, I don't want to do that yet. I don't want to do that yet. No, that's not for me. Yeah, not yet. No. So I was in Fort Dix, and then from there, I thought for sure I'd get something in the aviation, but here they taught me how to drive trucks.
Yeah.
So I drove.
They should actually drive trucks at boot camp or somewhere else?
No, that was after. That was something that was called something different. You had to learn a trade of what you're going to get your experience in and follow it through MOS, they called it, I think it was.
Okay.
So I had to drive trucks and so forth, or
Now-
Jeeps, or
now-
5-ton or deuce and a half.
Now, so 64, 65, this is during the height of Vietnam?
Well, Vietnam wasn't, it was on, but it wasn't real bad, I guess.
Yeah.
So
But-
I went over to Germany.
But
Yeah.
do you think for sure that you were going to Vietnam?
No, at that time, no, I never gave that a thought.
Okay.
Never gave that a thought.
So you had boot camp, it wasn't like topic, oh, we're all going to Vietnam or anything like that?
Well, I'm sure it was talked about that you could go to Vietnam, But when they gave my orders came that I was going to go to Germany
Yeah.
when I went on a boat.
Yeah. And you were happy to get orders to go to Germany, right?
Yeah, I was happy about that.
Yeah.
Not knowing anything how bad Vietnam was at that time.
Sure.
Okay, because it really got bad while I was in Germany, or it was starting to really get bad.
And what year did you go? What year and month did you go to Germany? Do you remember?
Well, not exactly. I'm going to say March or April
Of 65?
'65. Yeah.
And do you remember the boat?
I spent 18 months in Germany, so I figured from there.
Yeah.
USS Patch.
The USS Patch is what you took the boat right over.
Right across, not right over, yeah,
Yeah.
6 or 7 days. I don't know how long it took, but it was at 6 or 7 days.
And how many people were on this boat?
I have no idea.
But it was full.
It was full, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was 4 stacks
Yeah.
in a bed, and I had the top one.
Yeah. How was the food? Horrible, like
Well,
usual?
it wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad.
And it was strictly a transport ship?
Yeah,
Just more or less just to move,
more or less, yeah.
just to move men and supplies around?
Occasionally we had to do help with KP and so forth,
Yeah.
and the ship to help
But for
out.
the most part, you're just a passenger
Yeah.
trying to go from point A to point B.
And this is me and Tony DiTondo became friends.
Because he was your pinochle partner?
Well, not that, but we got to friends, and we were playing pinochle on
Yeah.
the ship, and we were playing for. We didn't have a lot of money. I only got paid $78 a month when I was in the army,
Yeah.
so that wasn't a lot of money. Well, anyway, so when we played for money,
Yeah.
and we didn't win a lot because we didn't have a lot to play with, but
Yeah.
and we never lost a game going across. Now, I would say it was 6 or 7 days to get to where
Yeah.
our destination was.
Were a lot of people playing pinochle?
Well,
Was it the most popular game?
where we were was, I
Yeah.
mean, where we were playing, it was
What
popular.
other, I mean, you guys, were there craps being played?
Well, I'm sure there was, I remember seeing them playing dice.
Poker?
No, yeah, maybe, that I can't remember, but I'm sure there was. And that's too fast, at least pinochle you have to play.
Yeah.
4 hands or something like that before you have a winner usually.
And how would you bet?
You bid,
Yeah.
or you pass.
Well, I know how to play pinochle, but we never played with money.
Right,
So would you play that?
quarter, half or something, but it wasn't that amount. though.
Yeah. So if you won the game, you'd win
Yeah,
the
if
quarter.
you got set, that cost you extra quarter.
Okay.
Okay, so you had to keep how many times if you lose the game.
Yeah.
If I win and I was set a couple times, it wouldn't cost me anything
Okay.
because it would cost. I win maybe a quarter from the game and a quarter from one time if we set.
And what was your buddy's name again?
Tony DiTondo. He's my best man at our wedding, though. At my
Okay.
wedding. Oh, and then I'll go back. Before I went in the army,
Mm-hmm.
before I was drafted, I met a girl there too,
Met a girl where?
at the barn in Buffalo, in East Aurora.
The barn. What's the barn?
It's never know the Knoxes, the people that owned the Sabres at one
Yeah.
time. Well, that's the Knoxes estate had a barn, and it was a bar, and they had music.
That's what it was called, the barn.
Yeah, it was called the barn. Still there, I think, as far as, but ain't used for that anymore.
All right. So
And I met somebody there.
who'd you meet there?
Well, this girl I'm dating now, Mary. That's
Yes.
where I met Mary.
So you met her at the barn,
I met her at the barn.
and she was just a girl that you
Yeah.
fancied and started a conversation
and
with.
and started dating.
And
And she went to me to the terminal the first night. I had
Okay.
to go to take the train ride with
To-
Gene
to Fort Dix.
Fort Dix, yeah. So I forgot that part of my story, my life. so
And where did Mary grow up, or where was she
South
living?
Buffalo,
So
yeah.
in a similar
On
location.
Ashton Street,
Ashton.
yeah. It was near Public 29 School.
Okay. How much older or younger was Mary?
She's a couple months younger.
Okay. So you're the same age.
Yeah.
So she took you to the train station when you took out of Depew, Buffalo, I assume.
Out of Buffalo town, central town. No, it's near the Broadway Market.
Okay.
If you know where the Broadway Market is.
Was it on Broadway?
Yeah. Right across from Statler's, your mom used to work.
I know exactly the place. Was it a special train only going to Fort Dix?
No, the train didn't go to Fort Dix, went to New York.
Yeah.
And from New York, somebody was there to pick me up to take you to Fort Dix.
In a limousine?
A bus.
A bus.
Well,
It wasn't a stretch limousine?
No, it wasn't a stretching machine.
All right.
Okay, we're back to that
Yeah.
part now. So I just thought of that part.
Did you like New York City? Did you ever visit New York City before going there to go to boot camp?
No.
Okay. Did you? And obviously, get off the train, you hop in the bus. You didn't
Yeah.
do any sightseeing in New York City.
No. You were kind of in the army then.
Yeah.
Now, you weren't originally
Yeah.
until you got the 4-6, and then you really got into the
Yeah.
army.
Yeah.
yeah.
Were you allowed to have a mustache?
No, I didn't have a mustache.
When did you first grow your mustache?
Well,
Was it in the army or after the army?
after the army. Yeah.
So you went over to Germany
Right.
on the boat,
Right.
the USS Patch,
Right.
and you arrive in what? Mannheim?
No. We had to take a. I can't remember the port we went into, but there was a deuce and a half there waiting for a certain amount of people coming
Yeah.
off this boat that would take us to Mannheim.
And
So
a deuce and a half for those people who don't know. What's a deuce and a half?
It's a truck.
Okay.
That's a deuce and a half is what I mainly drove when I was in Germany.
A 2.5 ton truck?
Right, or the 5-ton, but I mainly drove the Jeep
Yeah.
and a deuce and a half when I was in there. So that took us to Mannheim.
Yeah. And how far is Mannheim from the port?
Well, it had to be from what? Oh, port?
From the port.
Oh, it was about 5 hours.
So it was a long ride then.
Yeah, it was a long ride. Yeah.
Especially were you in the back or the front?
Well, we said, in the back, in the back,
yeah.
where they had the back, not a bench, that thing that came down you could sit in. It was a troop. It could carry troops in it.
Yeah. How many men? 20?
No, maybe 8.
Oh, okay.
8 to 10, I would say. And Tony was on that, and the other guy, Marv, was on there. He was from Buffalo, and a guy from New Jersey. I can't think of his name. Him and me became good friends too. I can't think of his name, but he died. He had a blood clot or something. But that was after he got home.
Sure. Was this a good jovial trip? These 5 hours, or you guys just sleeping?
Well,
It
we're
was too noisy.
sleeping and talking, yeah, a little of everything, I guess. Bouncing around,
Yeah.
watching what we're going by and where we are, how much further.
But no drinking.
No, there's no drinking.
But you guys could smoke, though, I assume, back there.
There could have been somebody that smoked. I bet I don't remember.
You smoked cigars for a brief period in your life.
For a bit, yeah.
But when you start that after the military or during the military?
Probably after, more so.
So you were in Germany for how, year and a half?
18 months.
18 months.
Right.
Which I think is a year and a half.
Yeah, that's right. Right, 18
If I do my
months.
math right, if I
Yeah, you
divide
did
by
it.
2 and
Yeah,
carry the
right,
1,
carry the one.
16, plus, yeah, it's 18.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you're there for 6 months minus 2 years.
Right.
And you drove a truck around with
Drove the truck
supplies?
all over. I can't say all over Germany, because the Berlin Wall was still up. so
Yeah.
we did- But I drove all over Germany up to that. And
Mhm.
I would try my hardest to be on the road all the time.
Yeah.
Because it was good duty.
Yeah.
It was real good duty. At least as far as I
And you
can
got
tell.
paid the same matter what you're doing,
Yeah,
right? But
right,
that was your more
Right.
enjoyable
Right.
job.
Right.
What were you driving around? Troops or supplies?
Well, I could be driving troops. I could be hauling a small trailer.
Yeah.
I could be ammo,
Yeah.
supplies, or whatever. Maybe I didn't even know what was on there, but I had to go to different Nuremberg, Munich, Frankfurt, some off the name walls.
And how would you know where to go? Would there be a navigator with you that would help you? Would you have a map, or would it just be written down directions? Take the M2 to the 65. Take after the third oak tree, turn right.
Well, yeah, that's basically what you had. You had directions how to get there. And you were on the Autobahn sometimes too. And the Autobahn, and there was governors on the vehicle, so you
Yeah.
couldn't. Everybody could be zooming past you, and you couldn't zoom with them because you couldn't go.
How fast could you go?
I would say maybe I'm guessing, because it was in kilometers. I never
Yeah.
really figured it out. 60 kilometers, 70 maybe.
Yeah.
Nothing
So
in
that sounds like 45 miles an hour.
Yeah, right. So.
Fast enough.
And you'd be on roads, narrow roads too. As
Yeah.
you going into where they store ammo,
Yeah.
dump you were taking. And who's watching the ammo dumps? You had Polacks. You didn't have Germans there. You had Polish people. Mostly it was Polish people that had or gardening. You had to go in and bring stuff out or stuff like that, or transport them or move it from one bunker to another bunker. The ammo.
Did you, growing up in Buffalo, did you learn much Polish?
No. Yeah. The only Polish I remember is because the neighbors across the street were Polish, Zelinskis.
Yeah. Like Dziękuję.
Dziękuję, yeah. They used to. I used to eat some of the Polish food.
Yeah.
And what because they were good to me. Is But the worst thing was the duck soup. It was terrible.
Duck soup?
Yeah.
Oh.
Duck blood.
Why was it bad?
Well,
The flavor?
just the thought of it made it bad. But I tried it. It wasn't good. It had different stuff, vegetables in it, and fruit. And it was red.
Polish duck soup.
Yeah. And they used to take me up to the Broadway Market every once in a while. They used to go every Friday. They used to go up there for shopping.
And were they from Poland Polish?
They were fun?
Were they from Poland Polish, or were they?
No, they
parents?
weren't from. Their parents were.
Did you learn any German? Did you speak much German when you were in Germany?
Well, a little bit, but the Germans, where you mostly were, spoke some English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have to wear your uniform 24/7?
Well, if you were driving a truck, you had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you were, but if you went off base or the compound you were in, you could go in civilian, but you had to have a pass. So
Yeah.
you had to have a pass to get back. Show that you had a pass that you went out and in.
So obviously, it'd be easier just to stay on base, but you don't want to stay on base.
Yeah, they usually had a club that you could go to on most of the compounds, where you could eat and drink or whatever.
Yeah. And did you do a lot of gambling?
Not the only game. Yeah, in a way I did. When I got over there, getting $78 a month isn't much.
Yeah.
So I had rations over there. I could sell. I didn't smoke, so I would sell. I found out the best people to sell them to is the Germans that worked on the base.
Yeah.
They'd give you more money for them. So I did that
They give you more money for your smokes.
for the ration, so they could buy a smoke.
Okay. So what's a ration?
Well, they give you a thing that you can go to PX.
Yeah.
It's called PX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a voucher.
Yeah, voucher.
Does it say good for one
And
kind
I
of
think
cigarettes?
maybe I had 6 vouchers.
Yeah.
That I would sell them to them. And the other thing.
Okay, well, it's time to reset the file and grab a cider.
I thought I was drinking.
We've got a whole system here.
Okay, no, I got things.
So we're talking about the ins and outs of vouchers, and it was better. The Germans were a better market for your vouchers because they valued them more
They valued them
or
more.
something. And how did that all work again?
You give it to him, and he can go to the PX, a good one, or maybe he would sell them too. I don't know. He might sell them to somebody else too and get money out of it. But I was good. And the other thing, and I feel bad about this, but this is what I did. There was people that lent money out. No, and then they usually lent it out around payday. Payday used to be around the first of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the guys, by maybe a couple days or even less than that, they were broke and they needed money. So they would come to you if they knew, and maybe ask for $10 or whatever. Yeah, you got to pay me 20 back. That's it. And that's where I made money.
You were a loan shark.
I was a loan shark.
Yeah.
I seen it was going on,
Yeah.
and I said, "Wow, I could. This is better." And if a guy didn't pay you back, well, you ain't getting nothing more from me. I mean, that could happen, and it did. So it was a chance you took.
But it wasn't like you were going after him, with brass knuckles.
Well, once they knew that you had money and were doing that,
Yeah.
they would come to you if they knew,
Sure.
and would ask you, "Can I borrow 10?"
But you wouldn't go beat them up. They didn't pay you back.
No, no.
You just would not laugh.
It ain't worth it. And then I get MP and I
Yeah.
go to jail.
Yeah.
No.
So you made money selling rations
Yeah.
and more or less being a loan manager.
Yeah, loan shark. That's
Yeah.
that's something I'm proud of. I don't
No,
like
but
telling it all the time.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, and that's how I was getting double what I was getting paid, right? Eventually, or even more maybe. I can't remember, but this is all right. And then they knew Ron's the guy. He can give you some money maybe. Go over and talk to him. See what he. So
And obviously, the more people you deal with, the more money you got, so the more you can lend out.
And you had to, maybe you had to take it easy for a couple months till you got something going.
Yeah.
Because I only had $78 a month to do something with to begin with.
Plus, you gotta have money for yourself.
Yeah.
But all your meals are paid for, right?
Well, yeah. But if you went to the club, you
Yeah.
had to pay for whatever you bought in there.
And they have beers at the club?
They had beers in the club.
They German beers or American beers?
I drank mostly Heineken when I was there.
Which is Dutch, right?
Yeah. But they had flip tops too. You know what a flip top is? It's a beer that has a cork top on it.
Yeah.
That's what they had. Some of that.
You can seal it multiple
You're
times.
right. And if you were in town, but most of the places, that's what they had, flip
Yeah.
tops.
So, where'd you spend most? Your main base was Mannheim.
That's what my base was.
Yeah,
That's where my home base was.
but you could spend a night elsewhere.
Oh yeah, many a night.
Yeah,
If I went to Nuremberg, I could be Nuremberg. I would have had to spend a couple nights there. Or I might have to spend a night.
and was there a base there? Army base?
There's an army pavilion.
Yeah,
But the Army pavilions, the best place to stay at was an Air Force facility.
because
The food was better. The sleeping quarter was better. Or if you went to an army, you might have been in a barrack. There could have been 20 people sleeping in that room.
yeah,
But the Air Force usually had your own room or a room with another bunk in it.
yeah.
And it'd be 2 people in there maybe.
So you only got to deal with one snore versus
Yeah.
19 snores.
Right. And the food was better and so forth.
Yeah.
They treated you. It seemed better.
Now, what kind of food they serve? Is it meat, potatoes?
Oh, yeah, well, it depends what was on the menu for that
Yeah.
day.
Do they have like Thanksgiving dinner night and spaghetti and meatball night?
No, I would say they probably around Thanksgiving they would have it. But I ain't saying they would have it all the time.
Yep.
And then if you were on base, say at Turley Barracks, that's what was the barracks was called in Mannheim, Turley Barracks. You had you had to do KP duty.
Mm-hmm.
You had to be there early in the morning.
How often do you have to do that?
Well, if we're in the barracks quite a lot, it could be that patrol's got patrol has got jury duty, yeah. KP duty that week. So
Mhm.
you had to be there for the meals, or all the meals that day. And help either for or get the dishes cleaned up afterwards, and then you were free. But you had to be back for lunch too. Now I don't know if they broke it down that way. I can't remember that. If you had to do the whole day, or if you just had to do one meal or something like that, I can't remember.
Did you do any sightseeing while you were there?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember anything you saw notable?
Well, I did some sightseeing because I was driving all over
Sure.
Germany.
But did you go to any castles? Like,
Yeah, I went to a couple of castles.
did you see Neuschwanstein?
No.
Did you go to the Black Forest?
Yes.
Did you do any hiking?
No, not really. Well, the only hike I did is a couple times I tried to avoid those kind of trips
Sure.
where you would have to take troops
Mm-hmm.
where they were going to play war games,
Okay.
and then you had to play a war game with
Oh,
them too.
yeah.
But fortunately, the ones that I did take, like Baumholder, that was one of the places they went. There was other places, but that one I remember the most. The sergeant who was in charge, or the lieutenant was in charge of the whole thing, or a battalion that was going to go and do these war games. Oh, you can stay in your truck if you want, or whatever. So that will happen most of the time. There was only one that I had to kind of get foxhole or something
Yeah.
and play the game a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, other than that, I was supposed to stay in the truck.
What you preferred?
Those I prefer.
Yeah. So what would you do in the truck? Did you read or just take a snooze?
Yeah, well, you might have had to drive around where they did a little
Yeah.
bit.
When would you drive here, like wait half hour, then drive over
maybe
there, then
down
wait
the
half
hill,
hour?
and then have to come back again and
Yeah.
park it there, move some troops from here to here.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time to change
Oh,
the battery.
I thought you were going for another one. That was
No,
a quick one.
I'm gonna pass on the cider that I deserve this time, and I'll get it next time.
I would go to well, I wouldn't go there every day, but if I was in the motorcade or something where they keep all the trucks and that, where they put your truck when you weren't using it, parking lot. Well, anyway, I would go there and just see if they had any things going out, because that's what I wanted. I wanted to be out. I didn't want to be caught if they had an air raid or something that you had to go out and like you're in some kind of battle. So I would go out and do that. And, you know, they give me something. Give me the one that's it's going to be. I could be gone for 2 or 3 days, or maybe I have to go from here to here to here and pick. Give me. I would take that. So you would check on that, and you wanted to make sure these guys liked you too.
Yeah.
You know, they would be. And you had to take care of your truck too. You had to know how to change a tire if you had a flat, and all those things. But of course, that was taught in basic in when I was in Fort Dix. But you know.
But you wouldn't have to do any like change the oil or anything.
No, that was done before you had the.
Were you expected to wash it?
Well, I kept it clean.
Yeah.
I kept it clean.
You have a little broom for the inside?
No.
Sweep it out?
No. I cleaned it up and made sure number 24 was my truck number.
That was 24? That was it?
My truck finally.
And what was your U.S. military number?
U.S. 5177. So I don't even remember the last 4 numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It was the number, the most famous, just like your Social Security number, last 4. 5177. U.S. If you were RA, that meant you were in for 4 years.
Oh.
U.S. mean you were drafted.
Oh. So it was US 5177. That's what it started with. And there was a couple more numbers after that?
Well, 5177 is the last 4 numbers.
Okay, so
There's something, but that's the ones you had in all. So, now where was I going with that? So I try, and I try to have my truck always ready to go, in case they wanted me to go on. There's a trick that I could go on, or that I'm out on the road doing. So I got truck of the month quite a few times. Safe mileage, no accidents, you know, that one was important. So I had to go off for soldier of the month or driver of the month, I don't know what it's called. And I really didn't want to pass. I didn't want to, because I knew what it entailed further down if I did.
What did it entail further down?
I have to drive for the battalion commander.
Oh, okay.
So you have to go for another test.
Yeah.
So even trying to fail it, I passed.
So how were you trying to fail it? We did like drive to the left and get it muddy?
No, it was mostly a question, because you're Sergeant Timo. He was my sergeant.
Timo?
Timo was a black guy.
Yeah.
But he was a nice guy. He was a good guy.
T-E-M-O?
I don't know how to spell it. T-H-E something, but I think.
Okay, whatever.
But he was a nice guy. He was a
Yeah.
black guy. He treated me fairly and so forth. He was so, Schmidt, you can't do this. You should have done better. You should have won, and you did. He says, don't do it when you go to the next.
Did he know what you were doing?
You know, well, he figured I did,
Yeah.
even though I did make it Soldier of the Month the one time I made it. So then I had to go again to be the Soldier of the Month or further on, and I did fail. He was mad at me. He was mad.
Because
at
it
me.
would look good for him if you won.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. That's I didn't want that. But I had to drive for the battalion. But I got in good graces with him too.
What was his name, remember?
No, I don't remember. But it was a Jeep that I drove. And I drove him all over.
What kind of Jeep?
Well, something like you have.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you never...
But I mean, it was his Jeep, and it
Yeah.
had to be there in the morning, and you had to be sharp all the
Yeah.
time. You had to be sharp all the time. Shine boots, the hat, to take care of him and so forth. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I remember him saying as I was driving around, Schmidt, you don't want to do this, do you? I said, no, sir. He said, I'll see if I can help you out there. I said, I would appreciate that. So he let me, I mean, I drove for him maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. I
Yeah.
can't remember. And then he said, well, get somebody else.
3-speed?
Huh?
3-speed?
Mhm.
What about the do
And the other thing I remember, too, to keep it straight with the Army, if you were a troublemaker, and you got in trouble or consistently were in trouble, within week or maybe sooner, you had orders to go to Vietnam. And they were doing, well, at least that's what they were telling us. They were sending the guy disappeared. Where'd he go? Where do you think he went or was going? So I said, well, I gotta be straight all the time for sure.
Yeah.
I go to Vietnam.
So troublemaker guys that would tell off their commander or get drunk
or wouldn't be ready for uniform when you had to get up in the morning and stand in front of everybody at attention.
Yeah.
The only thing I got yelled at, I didn't like wearing, and I still don't like wearing a hat. I used to have it in the back. Well, I got it. I'll put it on, Schmidt. Yes, sir.
Did you interact with the German people at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
Were they friendly to the Americans?
Yeah, in most cases they were, because they knew you were on a base, and I'm sure there's a lot of them. In fact, you would sell some of them your cigarette ration.
Yeah.
Like our barracks had a fence around it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got cigarette ration? Oh, yeah. How much? That's not enough. You gotta give me more. Oh, they had it to work. Thank you.
Right through the fence.
Mm-hmm. Well, not all of them, but
Yeah.
you could do it.
So you really didn't deal with. Did you go out to restaurants while you were there?
When I met your mother, yeah.
Well, that was the only. Excuse me. That was the only time you did that.
Well, no. If we didn't stay at a barracks, if we were on the road,
Yeah.
we had to find a place
To stay. Yeah.
So then, yes, you would find. And it's usually in a small town.
Yeah.
Most.
So were those people very accommodating to you?
Yeah.
They weren't mad at you.
No, I would say not really. No, there might have been, but I don't recall it.
And there were still a lot of visual remnants of World War II.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of dilapidated buildings and.
Yeah, but I didn't see that much of it. I did some down by Munich in that area. It was, and I remember going to Munich. There, Oktoberfest, when they had all the beers on their hands. The girls coming in there.
Good times.
The waitresses.
Yes. Good times.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Who'd you go there with?
Well, other army guys.
Yeah.
Or-
Tony?
No, you very seldom got with somebody from your, I was going to say outpost.
Yeah.
From your barracks, or usually if you were there on your own in most cases.
What did Tony do?
He drove a truck too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just would see him and pass it and,
Yeah.
hey, how you doing? That
During
was
the
pretty
day,
much
well, I'm going this way and he's going that way. You might,
it. Yeah.
but I can't recall that material. You might have seen somebody from outpost battalion 41 or not.
So how'd you meet my mother?
No, I mean your mother. Well, there used to be a guy from New Jersey. His name was Chifo.
Chifo?
Chifo.
That was his last name?
Yeah. No, that was his first name. Yeah. And he was in our transportation 41. That was our number 41. And he was there also. He was part of it. And he came around asking one day, he says, "So, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I got nothing planned." He says, "Well," he said, "I want to see some girl coming that was here last year, or was here. He got to know her,
Mm-hmm.
and she moved up to Sweden, and she's coming back down to Sweden because her parents live here.
She's coming back down to Germany.
Germany, rather, yeah, because her parents live here, and she's bringing a friend of hers down, and I have a date with her tonight or tomorrow night, whatever it was."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "You're interested?" And I said, "Yeah, I might be interested, but I hope she's a good looker." Because I mean, if it's somebody that's, well, say, heavy or something, I might not. And it was your mother.
Yeah. So where did this date?
And this was in Mannheim. This is where I was stationed.
Yeah.
And we went out that night
To a restaurant?
to a restaurant, had a couple drinks and so forth.
What were you drinking? Beer?
Yes.
What were the ladies drinking?
Can't remember what Mom drank.
Do you remember specifically where you met her? Like on a street corner? Did she come to the
No.
barracks?
No, they came outside the barracks. We met them outside the barracks. We took them someplace in
Did you shake
Manhattan.
hands or did you curtsy or
No.
How the greeting
I
take
think
place?
they came in their car. I think the car that I'm trying to think of the girl's name that she was with. Because they drove from Sweden down there.
Mm-hmm.
So we went out. We went to a restaurant or had a couple drinks and
And what you ate?
no,
And what'd you do after that?
we took a walk.
Yeah.
I remember I tried to kiss Mom by the Rhine River.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said she was scared at the time. Well, I could understand.
Sure.
Crazy American.
You were not in uniform.
No. If you went out, well, generally, if I went out of the barracks, I had civilian clothes on.
And was Chief a good friend of yours, or just kind of some
No,
guy
he
you
just came up and was, well, we knew each other.
Yeah.
And he was looking for somebody so he could be with the girl he was
So
with.
why do you think he chose you?
Just walking, and
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know how many, if he asked anybody else. or-
Yeah.
Well, he did, and he asked me, and I said, okay.
So you had a successful date.
Yeah.
Then you went back to your barracks, I assume, that night, or maybe didn't.
Well, I did, I
Yeah.
know, but and I dropped Mom off at somebody's house. Maybe it was where she was going to be staying that night.
Yeah. So how did you get a hold of her after that?
Well, we said we had to get together again.
Okay.
And Chief made the arrangements, and boom, 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 and I got her phone number and so forth.
And she spoke English.
Well, we spoke out of a dictionary,
Okay.
or a Swedish English dictionary, because she knew a little English,
Yeah.
but not a lot.
But it was very broken, though.
Yeah, it was broken. Yeah.
You didn't have any fluid conversations about anything
Well, I
else.
would like to say I would like to visit you, you
Yeah.
know, and so forth. She said, well, you can come up.
Yeah.
Miguel was the other guy I couldn't think of. I just thought of his name because he went up there with me
Okay.
when I went up to Sweden to visit Mom. And I don't know, I met her in August
In Mannheim.
in Mannheim. I'm trying to figure when I went up there. It wasn't cold. That I can't remember.
But you saw her more than just that one time in Mannheim.
A couple times, yeah.
I assume the other times were not on a double date.
Yeah.
And it was, did you do anything special?
No,
unique?
not really. No, not really.
Just,
Yeah, we went to another place by ourselves one time.
Yeah. Another restaurant?
Yeah, a restaurant or some kind of an establishment.
Yeah. We didn't do no movies or
No.
no day trips or anything.
No, the only movie I remember was just the Sound of Music in Sweden.
You saw Sound of Music in Sweden.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So-
it was in English, subtitled in
Yeah.
Swedish.
So that was nice for you.
Yeah, that's okay.
So you met her in August, and sometime you went up to visit her?
Yeah.
Because she left within a week after you.
Yes, yeah. Well, they were going down to in Mannheim area because the girl from she was with was going to be in some kind of speed competition, speed skating
Thank you.
competition down there. Mom was going
In Mannheim?
No, in
Austria?
southern, down by Munich.
I
Someplace
thought there
down-
was an Austria connection in this somewhere.
Well, Austria's close to Munich.
I
It
know
might have
that.
been. It might have been there.
Okay.
Could have been. Might have been in Austria. They were going.
So somehow you got her. So how did you correspond? Obviously,
I think I
via letter.
Yeah, via letters.
Was exchanging phone numbers something you could do
Well,
back
I
then?
didn't have a phone number, but I told her I was coming, and I said I was coming when. And then as we got closer, me and Miguel, it's almost a 24-hour train ride to get up there
To Stockholm.
to Stockholm, and we had to go on a ferry too. The train had to get on the
Yeah.
ferry and cross the river.
The train went on the ferry.
Well, part of it did.
The actual physical car went on the ferry.
Yeah. Well, some kind of a boat.
All right.
By Malmo. I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went up to Stockholm.
You went by yourself?
No, McGill was with
We
me.
went with McGill.
McGill was with me, yeah.
So what did McGill do when he was up
Well,
there?
he met a girl up there, too.
No,
He
Why
met a
did-
girl up there.
up there.
Up there.
So kind of the same thing that happened.
Right, right.
It's kind of a repetitive kind of motion here.
So the only thing, Carlson could be spelled two different ways,
Sure.
with a K or a C,
Yeah.
and I didn't know what it was, or couldn't recall what it was.
You just never was Gudrun Carlson, and they asked you if it was
And I
in a
didn't
K or
have a
C.
number, and the only numbers that are in the phone book that I located, they went by jobs that the person had. But I don't know how, but I happened to find it, and I called one of the numbers, and I found it. And I guess she was kind of surprised that I was there and so forth.
She did not know you were coming?
You know, I told her I was, but she didn't know when or anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay, exactly. So,
So you go up there with not a meeting spot,
Mhm.
just with a name.
yeah, name
And Stockholm?
Pardon?
You used to have her name and the city of Stockholm.
You're right,
And you knew that she was a hairdresser.
right.
And you looked in a phone book on her hairdressers and you find,
Well, yeah, but I didn't know if it was a K or a C, Carlson. So I called somebody, and eventually I got somebody that, yes, it was her.
and not speaking Swedish, it make it even more difficult trying to
this
say.
is Ron, and you know, she maybe understood Ron
Yeah.
or whatever.
Then how would she know where to meet you?
Well, she told me where to go,
Oh.
where her apartment was. So I somehow found it, or got a taxi there, or whatever.
Yeah.
And me and McGill went there. Or we met someplace, and then she took us there. I think that's what was more happening.
Or where'd you stay? At her apartment?
Her apartment.
And how long were you up in Stockholm? Nice.
Couple weeks, at least 10 days.
So you were on leave?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you get so many weeks a year or something like that.
Yeah.
So
So what'd you do when you were
well,
in
we went
Sweden?
out. I met Boyer.
Yeah. Where was he living?
He was on his boat.
Yeah.
Right. So I went on his boat and stayed on his boat. I think one a couple times.
So Bodhi.
Yeah.
So the Bodhi is Gudrun's mom. Gudrun's father.
Right.
And how did he treat you when you met him?
Oh, he was. You know, he couldn't speak English. You know how he is,
Yeah.
or was. So yeah. Got along.
Okay, so we have reached the end of that file. This is just a fascinating story. I hope it goes on forever. So we're very interested to hear how the whole relationship, it's obviously got a good start here, because you've come from Germany to Sweden, showed up there, and she answers your phone call, and you spent some time together.
Right.
And so how did
I
the
met her
next couple
father,
of
and
days
then
unfold?
I'm trying to figure how I got to Hallsberg. That's where her mom lived, and a lot of her family lived.
Well, you went there on that trip.
On that same trip,
Yeah.
I met her mother and so forth and so forth.
You don't think it was via train?
Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember renting a car. I can't remember that. Because it's a good ride getting up there
Yeah.
from Stockholm, or getting there across. It's more in the center. It's between Gothenburg and Stockholm, about halfway. I don't know how I got there. I met one of her girlfriends there. And I can't remember her name either. That's the one who started dating McGill. Or he got acquainted with anyways. Well, anyways, I went there, met Maya and Jonas, Gunbor, Anna Lee, Louise, Elsa. Who else could I have met?
Annalie's father.
Anna Lee's father, yeah. That's right.
His name's escaping me right now.
Yeah.
It's a two name.
Yeah, that's right. That's the other person. Yeah. And I had dinner at Corcoran's mom's house. And I think I was there for a couple of days.
At Elsa's house.
At Elsa's house.
And how did she treat you?
Oh yeah, she was very. I felt she was very accommodating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And her house was. I remember you could hear the train going by the house where she lived,
Yeah.
or maybe even partially see it. And it was in there, stuck in Hellsburg for a couple of days, anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And that was fun, enjoyable?
Yeah, enjoyable. I remember getting on the train and the two little girls, Annalie and were there waving me by.
Annalie and Louise?
Yeah, and Louise. Gumberg. I met her. What's her husband's name? Gumberg.
Well, that's
Oh yeah.
that's Annalie's
right.
father.
But I don't think they were married. I mean, I could be wrong.
Her current husband's Uf.
Yeah,
This
Uf.
is long before Uf, though.
Okay, it's long. So then it wasn't off of that. Yeah. Okay. And I met Yed. That's right.
Okay.
And she was married to Leonard.
Leonard,
at
yep.
the time. Anybody else? No. There's 4 sisters, right?
Yeah.
They named them all. Maya.
You did?
Yeah. Maya was. I don't know. Maya wasn't married yet.
I don't think so.
No, she wasn't, because I remember we went back to their wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I think on that trip I asked her to marry me.
Really?
Right. So I had to go up. It had to be.
Did you have a ring?
Huh?
Did you have a ring?
Yeah, I think I bought some kind of a ring for her.
In Germany or Sweden?
I think in Sweden. I couldn't have bought it in Germany. No, it was in Germany. Sweden.
Did you do it without her knowledge?
Buy the ring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you asked her beforehand, then bought the ring, or you bought the ring, then asked her.
Yeah. Either way, I could have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where did you propose? I never heard the story. Do you remember?
In Stockholm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walking along,
Yeah.
stores, fronts, or something like that.
And did she cry?
Not that I remember. She didn't cry, but she said, yes, I know that. And the apartment she lived in was small.
Yeah.
And you just go in the toilet, you couldn't sit in the toilet with the door open.
You had the door closed?
Huh?
You couldn't sit in the toilet with the door closed?
Right, because that's all it was there, just enough to,
Yeah.
maybe if like this or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And had a small kitchen and kind of like a living, seating area.
Yeah. That was her apartment.
That was her apartment. Yeah.
Was it bigger than this room?
Not much. If so, it wasn't not much.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. Had a couch. No, I don't think it was big, this room.
So eventually you had to leave.
I had to leave and went back.
And how much longer after you went back, after you left Sweden, were you
So
still
it had
in
to
Germany?
be, after I met her, it had to be the following spring that I went up there. Because
Okay.
it was warm. I remember it being not hot, but it was warm.
Yeah.
Father had the boat on the water. And he would have probably had it on the water anyways, but so it had to be quite a bit after. So it had to be in the spring or early summer.
And you corresponded with letters in between?
Yeah, corresponded and having her make arrangements to come to the U.S.
Was there any thought on your part to move to Sweden?
At the time, no. I know Mom and Jean didn't like the idea, mainly because you just met the girl. You're bringing her back. I know. They were skeptical about it. And then where would she stay?
Were they skeptical? Were they?
Well, that's how I felt.
That's how you felt. They weren't direct with you, saying, "Ron, we don't like this."
No.
But you
You just
felt,
met her. What are you doing this? Yeah. But I know Jean and Gudrun sometimes didn't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
I could feel that.
Yeah.
But I think Mom was okay.
So eventually, your tour in Germany ended. They did ask you to stay longer, though, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember going to see my commanding officer of our transportation unit. And he says, Schmidt, I said, I got something to offer you. I can offer you Spec 5 5 instead of a Spec 4. Oh, I said, that's nice. I appreciate that. But I said, well, give it to some lifer that's going to stay in the Army. Schmidt, get the bump out of here. I said, okay. Thank you, sir. Give it to somebody that's staying in. I'm not staying.
Yeah. Once your 2 years are up, you're done.
My 2 years are done.
So eventually your tour ended in Germany. You went back to the U.S., right?
I flew back to the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot shorter than the 5 or 6 days
Yeah.
across the.
Was it a military plane?
It was an Air Force plane, yeah.
A troop carrier?
You had seats in it. But yeah, it was all it carried. We went from the Air Force base. I'm trying to think which. I think it was near Kaiserslautern. We flew out of.
All right.
No, it was out of Frankfurt. That's right.
And once the wheels touched down, you were done in the military, or you had?
Well, you had to go sign certain papers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kissed the ground
Yeah.
when I got off the airplane.
Where'd you land? Do you remember?
Well, I'm guessing at this again. There is an Air Force base near Fort Dix. I think it's called MacArthur or something like that.
Okay.
Now, if it's still there, I don't know, or it was there. But I think that's where we landed. Andrews Air Force.
Okay.
That's
So you more or less touched the ground, got back, signed the papers, you were done with the
yeah.
military.
Then I had to get my transportation home.
Yeah. How'd you get home?
Fly.
Why'd you fly home versus taking the bus or train? Get all that extra money from being a loan shark?
No, well, I subsided on that a little bit once I was getting enough, and I got an Army increase,
Yeah.
I don't know what it went to, but it was nicer getting a little bit more money.
Sure.
And traveling more, you couldn't be there in the first of the month, to get your payments. So I did it about 4 months. Really.
So how long were you back before Mom came over?
Well, I got. Oh, here you.
Come on down.
Are you still? Did you turn it off?
Yeah, no, come on.
Oh, come on down.
Meet Arlo and Shonda. And neighbor Deb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
Down and say hi.
Yeah.
How you doing, Ron?
Good. Yourself?
So how's he sleeping?
No, he slept great. He's been up for a while though.
I heard some bumping around, but not much.
Side.
Yeah, let's get a little FaceTime. With,
Oh, buddy. That's not the kind of FaceTime we want.
We want the happy looking around FaceTime.
He's like, I don't know, man.
I haven't talked to my agent yet, and my
Eating.
publicist. This is all very irregular.
3 generations
Want a cookie?
of boys.
Not yet.
Here, you want to go see Daddy? There we go.
Oh my goodness, what's the big issue?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. How we doing, pal? Oh my goodness. Just remember, for your life, this is the face you're going to be presenting. So you can be cute or you can be grumpy. It's up to you, Bill.
Yeah. Okay. Time will tell. Yeah. Yeah. My name is Arlo.
Buddy.
Right, Arlo? Huh? No. Hi, Dad. Hi, Dad.
We'll go this side. This side's usually better.
Ron, how old was Eric when you first saw him?
Good story. Yeah, what do you think? Don't know. I can't recall. I mean,
A little bit like that, or
yeah, it was like that. Well, I seen pictures of him. Oh, I've seen pictures of it too. December 30th. Also, so I would say it had to be at least a couple weeks anyways, the same, I would think.
Her name was December 30th.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Eric.
Well, before I seen Eric. I mean, I seen pictures of him because I know Gudrun was there. Yeah, but I wasn't there.
Clearly wasn't done.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah.
This is
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, yeah. Where's mom? Where's mom? Where's mom? Where's mom? That's what he's saying, right? Where's mom? Where's mom?
That's right.
Yeah. Mom. Oh, mom.
Jim,
Ooh.
come here, you.
Oh, there's here we are. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What do you think?
Are you people deaf? Can't you hear me? I'm dissatisfied.
Want to eat? Oh yeah, you want to eat, little man?
Did you just eat for 6 hours?
You ate quite a bit. Come here, little man. Come here. Oh, here.
Okay, well, back to our
Where
conversation.
was I at?
You just came back from Germany.
You were back
when
in the
did I-
country again.
So I went in.
That's better. Thank you.
I don't know the exact date I got back. But Gudrun was supposed to come over on. She made arrangements. She was packing stuff and so forth. She was coming on the 24th of November. And then the 24th of November was going to be Thanksgiving Day.
Now, this would have been 66 or 65?
Had to be 66. I was in the service 64 to 66.
Okay.
Oh, it could have. Yeah, it had to be 66.
66.
Yeah, I got married in 67.
Okay.
So, I said I would pick her up in New York. But I wasn't driving at the time. I mean, I didn't have a car at the time. Well, I was, at least yet, I didn't have one. So I asked my Aunt Faye if I could use her car. And she said yes, I could use it. But I felt I needed somebody to go with me to pick her up.
Yeah.
And a friend that I had before I went into service, his name was Tommy Ellis, he said he would go.
Yeah. Now, why did you want someone with you?
Well, it's a 7-hour drive.
Yeah.
No, that was one reason. That's the only reason I could think
Okay.
of. Yeah. Somebody to talk to, somebody to keep me awake when I was driving. I don't think he had a license anyways, but I don't know, I call that. So we left to go. And went to the airport. And knew when the plane was supposedly coming in, and that we seen it was coming in.
Now, is this JFK?
I believe so. And I'm sitting there, we're looking up where the people are coming in for that, and they had to go through customs or that. And I said, I don't know. And then oh, there she is, Tom. The one with the hat on. She's got a hat on, like in a blue coat. There she is. I remember when she came out, and Tommy says, well, when are you going to kiss her? Or something like that. He said, yeah. So, we drove all the way home the same day, dropped Tommy off.
So what time did you ride back home?
It was nighttime.
Yeah.
It was dark still.
Well, it had to be dark in
Yeah.
November.
Well, it was dark when we got there.
Yeah.
Instead of driving home too. I mean, kind of got everything customs and what little she had in the bag.
And she was planning, I mean, she was moving to the United States this time, right?
Oh yeah, she packed all the stuff she had that she was going to bring and it was going to be shipped over. She
Yeah.
would have everything, or it was, and some of the stuff that she had, I think was maybe came on the plane, but it wasn't going to come with her.
Yeah.
It was being shipped to the. So when I made the arrangement that she would be staying with Jean
Yeah.
and Fred on Kimberly. So
What was the street number? 321?
32 Kimberly.
32? All right.
Yeah, because I lived, when we got an apartment, I lived at 120 something. So that was closer to Hampton Road. So we drove home, and they already had the Thanksgiving dinner because they didn't know when we were coming.
Yeah.
And so we went to Spidooties,
Which is a bar?
which is a bar, and had got something to eat there.
Yeah. What'd you have to eat?
I think I probably just had a hamburger or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what Mom had, if she had anything.
Yeah. But this was 9, 10 o'clock on Thanksgiving night or something?
Like that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So then back to Wicks's house.
Yeah.
And I
And,
went-
and Gina and Fred were already married at this point?
Yeah. Well, they had both girls,
Okay.
Sharon and Linda, because Linda was born when I was at Fort Dix, I think.
Okay. So she was 2,
Yeah, at the most. Yeah.
and Sharon was
No,
a couple years older, right?
Yeah, she was born in 19. She's 50 a couple years ago, so. Or 4 or 5 years ago. 62. Who's 62? Deneen was born in 62. One of the girls was born in 60. I think that was Linda. So, so we're home, and then we planned the wedding and so
Yeah.
forth, and we decided we're going to get married at South Park Baptist Church. Tony DeCondo was going to be our best man.
Mm-hmm.
Fred was going to give her away, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And Aunt Faye was going to let her use her car
Mm-hmm.
again.
Did any of the Swedes come over for the wedding?
No.
Were they invited?
Okay, time to
Well, they weren't-
reset the file.
Oh.
Should I grab a couple more beverages?
I'm still halfway through this
Okay.
one.
It's
Okay.
getting full. It's getting full.
The Swedes coming over for the wedding, her family.
No.
How did that go?
No, I don't remember anybody being here from her wedding. I'm trying to think who would be made to honor. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mom would probably know more of that.
Yeah. Well,
Okay. She could probably remember more of the things about when we first met and so forth, too.
yeah.
Oh, hold on a second.
Okay.
Somebody didn't reset the exposure.
Oh.
It got a technical. klutz
Somebody?
here.
Who's the somebody?
Operator error is the generic way you say that. Yeah, I should have looked at that. So the family coming over from Sweden.
Yeah, well,
Didn't really happen.
as far as I know, nobody came over from Sweden for the wedding.
Yeah.
As far as I know. Or I don't remember.
You don't recall who the maid of honor was.
No.
But we had the wedding at South Park Baptist.
Right.
And was there a reception?
Yes, down in the basement
In
of
the
the church.
basement?
Of the church.
And how many people were at the wedding, would you guess?
Well, if I say 100, I would say that'd be about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of reception was it? Did you have any music?
No.
So it was just food and
Yeah,
socializing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What kind of food?
I don't know if there was a toast or anything either. That I don't remember.
Okay. So it's very low key.
Yeah, it was low key, right. And from there we went to New York.
New York City
Yeah.
for your honeymoon?
Yeah.
And how long were you there?
Well, we got as far as Syracuse the first night.
Okay.
Outside of Syracuse, we
Yeah.
stayed there. Someplace.
Do you know where you stayed?
No.
But in the city?
Somewhere close to the thruway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we stayed. Found that they had a room there, and that's where we were going to stay.
Good enough.
Good enough.
And the next day you went down to New York City?
Right.
Do you know where you stayed in New York City?
At a hotel somewhere.
Manhattan?
In that area, yeah. I remember it was very busy on the outside.
But it wasn't Queens or Brooklyn or the Bronx. You think it was downtown Manhattan?
Yeah, I would say down, yeah.
And how long were you
The
there?
theater district, I would
Okay,
think.
that's been here.
Yeah, I would think in that area. Yeah.
And what'd you do?
Well, we did a little, we went out to eat. I don't know where we went, if we went in the hotel or the restaurant when we ate and so forth. And I put, whatever the bill came to, I put it down. I never seen the guy again. And if we were supposed to get some change back of some sort.
Yeah. They never came?
Oh, he was gone. I don't remember how much. We were kind of shocked, both of us.
Yeah.
Well, can't do nothing now, myself.
Yeah.
So we just up and left, and
Think it was a scam?
No, it was a restaurant. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy over, I was waiting for change. He never came back. And being kind of naive, I think I was, or something like that.
Did you see the Statue of Liberty? Did you go up to Empire State Building?
We visited a few places. We weren't there that long, really. Because I don't know if I had to be to work the next week or something like that. I don't remember that.
Did you see any shows?
No,
Ball games?
no. I wouldn't take Mom for a ball game. But yeah, I could have. That's true. So.
You never know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she maybe would have liked it. I doubt it, but
You never know. She might be an avid Mets fan right now if you did.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Very much so.
Yeah.
So you came back, you were working at Sears, and
And
you guys were living on Kimberly.
we were living on Kimberly. We bought an apartment on 123, maybe it was. It was on the opposite side of the street, so it had to end in an odd number. And I remember, and then we got a Buick Special convertible, white, the small
Yeah.
car.
Was that the first car you ever purchased?
Oh, that's the first car. It ain't the first car I purchased. The first
Yeah.
car I purchased when I got out of the Army
Okay. New or used?
was used. In fact, I believe it was Tony Vitando's wife's car, because he got married when he got home almost right away.
Do you know what year it was?
62,
62
Buick Special.
Buick Special.
White.
Convertible.
Convertible. I think I got a picture of it at home
You do?
on the refrigerator, or next to the refrigerator. Yeah,
Yeah.
white. Mm-hmm. And I know we had to replace the water pump or the timing chain quite often.
And did Mom get a license?
Oh yeah. Eventually she did, yeah. That's one thing I'll say about Mom. I think it was the second day we were home. She was on a bus going downtown looking for a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she found out she could become a hairdresser, but she had to pass the test. But they would hire her at a department store where she could do. It was around Christmas time. She could do gift wrapping,
Yeah.
but she couldn't do hair because she didn't have a license.
But she had a license in Sweden.
Yeah,
But not here.
not here.
And obviously those didn't
Right.
transfer over.
So she worked there for probably. And I was downtown.
And what department store was this?
Hens and Kelly. It was downtown.
Hens and Kelly.
It was called Hens and Kelly's on Main Street in Buffalo. Okay. And I know she wasn't happy there. I mean, I think once she got her license and that, she did work as a hairdresser there, but she didn't like it there. And eventually she went to, I was looking in the paper, I think, and she went to this hair salon, Cecilia's.
Mm-hmm.
And she got a job there. She worked there for quite a few years.
Yeah.
And her and Cecilia became good friends and so forth. And Cecilia couldn't pronounce her name, Gudrun.
Yeah.
So she asked her, "What's your middle name?" Brigitte. She told her Brigitte, that was her middle name. Oh, she said, "We'll call you Birgit." And that's how Birgit came about.
Yeah.
So she worked down there. We had one car for quite a while. Most of the time there. And that was in 66, right? Yeah, that's 66 still. No, we got married in 67, that's right.
Yeah. She came here in 66.
Yeah, she came here in 66. That was in April 67 we got married.
Well,
April 29th,
1967.
1967,
Then you rented on
On
yeah.
Kimberly, that's where
Kimberly.
we met Doug. What was his wife's name? Well, anyways, him and his wife, they had friends that lived in Yorkshire. And June and Uncle Dean.
Okay.
And we used to go there quite a bit and go skiing.
With Aunt and Uncle Dean.
Yeah.
And this guy Doug and his wife was a
Doug.
mystery.
Yeah. Well, I know she's passed on, but I don't know about Doug.
Yeah.
They got divorced eventually, but
And did you ski before this?
not really. No, not really. I skied in Germany. I tried skiing in Austria, but maybe that's really out of Austria. But I really learned when I came back. I remember going to the one in Yorkshire. I want to say Bloomfield, but Blue Mountain something. Well, anyways, that's where I learned. I remember where I really learned was going down one of the slopes and to stop. I couldn't really stop, and there was piles of hay there to stop. I said, well, I got to stop and fall down, so I fell down.
Yeah.
That was just the beginning. And then from there, I learned.
It was all tow ropes? Were they?
Yeah, they had chairs there.
Yeah.
Bluemont was the name of the ski area. It's no longer in existence. I mean, it's the ski area. So, well, we used to go weekends out there, Aunt June's, Uncle Dean's out quite a bit.
How much older were Aunt June and Uncle Dean? 20 years?
Yeah. Bonnie was Doug's wife.
Okay.
That's it. Okay.
How could you forget Bonnie?
No, I did. I did. Age.
Yeah. So did you guys go to church after you first got married?
Not really. Not really. No, we didn't.
Did you guys go bowling?
No.
Did you guys go out to bars?
Yeah, a little bit. But we mostly went out there on weekends and
Yeah.
skied when
Yeah.
it was winter, and we even went out there a couple times in the summer to visit them. But Aunt June and Uncle Dean.
And was Mom a good cook?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Did she do most of the cooking?
Well, not all, but a lot of it, yeah.
And when did your mom move to Kimberly? Was it after you were living there, or did you move to Kimberly because your mom was living there?
No, it was after. Mom moved there.
Your mom.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Well, we've been in Harris Hill longer than Jean's been on Allendale, so
Okay.
it had to be after. She moved after we moved out to Harris Hill.
Okay. When you moved to Harris Hill in '69?
June of 1970.
Okay.
Renee was born there. That's
Yeah.
how I know that. She was born in December
Yeah.
1970.
But you guys were pregnant when you bought the
Yes,
place.
when we bought the place.
And why'd you pick Clarence?
Annalena,
Yeah?
you know who she is.
Yeah.
Swedish. Well, Mom said we wanted a house, and so Annalena started looking for her.
Okay.
So
And she found this house in Harris
she
Hill.
found that house in Harris Hill.
Do you know how much you paid for that house?
20,000 something.
And what Gene think about you moving so far out?
Well, I don't think they were concerned about it. But I wanted something in a newer house. I wasn't happy with that house, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I wanted something newer.
How old? The house was built in what, the
Well, I think
40s?
37 it was built.
Yeah.
I wanted something newer.
But the location didn't really bother you, whether it was Hamburg or Clarence?
No, that didn't bother me. No, that didn't bother me.
And when did the Sabres start? 1970, right?
That's when they came into
And when did the Bills start?
60 something.
So did you guys go to Bills games at all?
We went to hockey games.
Yeah. But,
Mom, if we did go to football games,
Yeah.
but she would read a book or she did bring knitting. And then she hears, oh, what's going on now? So I said,
Yeah.
this is the end of this. I
Yeah.
ain't paying these tickets to take her to this. If she's going to be knitting and so forth.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Do you remember the first Bills game you went to? Was in down.
oh, well, the
It was-
first
long-
Buffalo Bills was the old Bills
Yeah.
in the American Football League
Yeah.
at the old stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At War Memorial?
Old Stadium, right. Yeah, that's when they could have had a chance to go to the first Super Bowl game.
Yes.
But they lost the
Kansas City.
Yeah, right. Beat them. So,
We would have lost to Green Bay anyways.
more likely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still,
It would have been nice.
it would have been nice to be
Yeah.
the first one there, but it didn't, so. Cookie Gilchrist was a fullback the year prior.
Yeah. Who was-
Jack Kemp was a quarterback. Yeah,
Who was the assistant offensive lines coach?
don't know.
Okay.
You know?
No. Well, those two are the easy ones, Cookie Gilchrist and
Yeah.
Jack Kemp. I was
Yeah.
trying to say who
Keith something made a tackle on one of the players. I mean, he really hit them.
Who was the head coach? Knox?
Yeah, could have been Saban for one of those.
Yeah, it had been Saban.
Could have been Saban.
Well, let's not go into sports.
Yeah, we're getting off target here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she went. We used to have hockey tickets on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Used to be the old War Memorial Stadium. What was it called then? No. Memorial Stadium. I don't know. Well, anyways, they were red seats. They were good seats.
The auditorium.
Auditorium. They were good, excellent seats. And prior to, I had season tickets before I went in the Army too. And I remember seeing them when they were in the American Hockey League, I think, and they won the championship that year. But that's a different story. Won't tell any more about that because I can get in a tangent on that too. So we had Sunday tickets for every, well, I hate it, most Sunday games. That's when they play most of the home games.
Yeah.
And that was in American Hockey too.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that was the National Hockey League. Yeah.
1970 they started the National Hockey League.
Right. So it had to be. But I think we were going before that too. The thing I remember was, no, let's not get into that. Well, anyways, and we would rush home, make popcorn, and watch Mission Impossible after the hockey game. That
Nice.
was very almost every Sunday we were at home.
Yeah.
And we sit right behind where Buffalo shot twice. They were good seats. But once they weren't in the National Hockey, because once they got into the National, prices went up
Sure.
considerably.
How much were prices before that? Do you have any clue?
No, can't remember. Affordable, put it that way.
Yeah.
So
at some point, Mom tells you that she's pregnant with Renee.
right.
And how that news strike you? Were you trying to have kids, or that's just the way it happened?
Yeah. We were trying, but picking a name for Renee was tough.
Yeah.
We couldn't come up with one.
For both boy and girl.
Both boy and girl, we didn't. I like the name Dawn.
Yeah.
And Mom said, "Well, they'll never know how to say that in Swedish or Sweden." So I remember one day at the dentist, the assistant was talking about her friend of hers had a child, and her name was Renee. They named it Renee. I said, "Oh, that's not a bad name."
Yeah.
So I presented it to Mom, and we kind of liked it. But we didn't know how to spell Renee. We spelled it with a male's name, R-E-N-E.
Yeah.
Renee Robert.
Yeah.
Girl's name is R-E-N-E-E.
Correct.
So Renee eventually changed it, but still, she maintained it.
On her birth certificate, originally it was R-E-N-E?
Yeah,
Okay.
right. So, and Renee was born on Harris Hill,
Yeah.
or that's where we lived at the time.
Sure.
She was born December 30th, 1970.
Did you drive Mom home from the hospital
Yeah.
in the Buick Special?
I don't think I had that then. I don't think I had that.
When did the blue car come about? You had a blue car at some point.
I had a green car too.
Okay.
Well, I'm trying to think how I had cars. I had a Pontiac that Aunt Tooks either sold me or gave it to me because her husband passed, Uncle Howard. He passed and had a car, and I got his car. And I might have bought it, I can't recall that, or it was given to us. And it was big. That's all I know. I had that. I also had an Oldsmobile. Then we started buying Citations for a while through Steve Colbert.
Yeah.
Of course, then somewhere along the line you came.
Yeah. And how'd she tell you that you're gonna have a second child?
How did she tell me?
Yeah.
Well, she went to the doctor and they told her she was pregnant.
Well, so she just came home and said it was just a matter of fact?
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
It wasn't-
I'm pregnant. We're gonna have a. Now I don't know if we knew we were gonna have a boy though.
Mm-hmm.
That I can't recall. That I don't recall. Oh, just the story about Renee though. We'll get back to you. We had a baby picture taken of her.
Yeah.
And it's funny now, but it wasn't funny when we got it. She looks like a baby, a monkey in it. Her hair was all over. And her face is all. Well, anyways, that's it. I'll end it there.
You didn't really go much there.
No, I didn't go, but it wasn't a good picture. But we make fun of it now and laugh about it. So I guess that's the only good thing of it. I'll say so. We found out we're going to have another child. Now, if we knew it was going to be a boy, I don't know, but I think we did, or I was told that. So we talked about names, and I said, well, I like my middle name. Well, that's okay, something like that. And then when the time came, back to Renee again. When Renee was born, and I was in the room where they were delivering the baby, the nurse looked at me, and she says, "You better sit down. It looks like you're going to just about fall."
Okay, at this utterly dramatic moment, we need to change the card.
Oh my goodness.
You doing okay?
We've only done 2 hours so far.
Oh,
Barely
in
scratched
2 hours
the
I've been.
surface.
Well, you started at 1. Yeah, it's 3:21. Well, you maybe didn't start at 1. We're moving around here.
We gotta set up.
It'll all be on the invoice, I'm sure. Ready to go. Now you are in the hospital. Renee is being born, and the nurse says to you,
You better sit down. You look like you're going to fall over and faint. And I was really getting woozy. I'll admit it. I realized that. And I sit down, and she said, "Put your head between your legs." She says, and after a while, she says, "How you feeling? Better?" And Renee's not born yet. She said, "We're going to move you outside the room, okay?" So I went outside the room.
Outside the delivery room?
Outside the living room, yeah. Well, then Renee was born. Everything was fine. So when David was born, I said, it's a good idea that I'm not in there, because I don't know what could happen again. Just things like that gives me, gives me, look at me going like that. I said, I think it's wiser if I stay out. And Gudrun agreed with me on that. So I'm sitting out there now, and then they wheel Renee out with David, and she says, "We have our little David now." I remember she says, "We have our David now." So that's where David came into life. July 1st, 1976.
42 years ago today.
Right. I know we were probably shooting for July 4th, but that would have been a big year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bicentennial.
76, 200, yeah. So, but it didn't happen. That's
It was still Maya's birthday.
Huh?
It was Maya's birthday.
Yeah, that's right. And Maya's, and who else? There's somebody else that had the same birthday in
Well,
Sweden.
Gun.
Good, that's what.
But Gun wasn't around then.
Yeah, Gun wasn't in the picture. So, David was born. Funny story about that was 1976. David comes home, and all of a sudden we had a family of 3. And I think it was the same day that David came home, Gudrun's father and David's cousin, Robert, right? Robert.
Correct.
Visited our house from Sweden. So we went from a family of 3 to a family of 6 all of a sudden that day. So that was a...
And how long did Boya and Robert stay?
Well, Robert stayed for the whole
A year. Yep.
Boyer I would say maybe he stayed 2 weeks to a month.
Okay.
I would say.
Yep.
Yeah, and he did speak very little English. That was the second or third time he was there. Because I don't think we went up to pick him up at the airport. Yeah, we would have had to go because it came in through, no, it wasn't. Well, anyways, we had 6. All of a sudden, we had 6 in the family. And one was from going to be a student in Clarence High School. David just came home or was home. So we went from a family of 3 to 6 in a day. So that was an experience. David growing up with a cousin
Mm-hmm.
And that was at 76. In January 29th of 77, we had the famous blizzard of Buffalo, where both me and Gudrun couldn't get home from work, and little Robert, the boy from Sweden, was watching Renee and David at home.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if Mrs. Teedy was there prior to, or it was just those three, but we couldn't get home. We couldn't drive. There was a driving ban, but I know people went out and tried to get home. But Gudrun got stuck at someplace close to her work, and I was stuck at where I was working, Sears.
You were at Eastern Hills though at the
That
time.
was Eastern Hills then, yeah. Because we opened it up in 1970. And I was in charge of the store. I had the auto center there, but they wanted me to stay, so we make sure all the cars got out there. And the people that got stuck in the store could park their car in the garage that we had, the auto center, because I was in charge of the auto center. Well, anyways, I got stuck at Sears. But I don't want to go into the story I had at Sears. It was a lot of fun that night there, but we slept in the furniture department. There was a bar in the mall, and we went down to the bar, and the guy that was, I'll tell him a little bit, the auditor of the store was still there, and he said, I'll bring money, we'll buy people drinks and food down there that got stuck in the store.
They had alcoholic drinks?
Yeah, alcohol, yeah. And we rode the bikes down to the mall from the sporting goods store to the mall. Slept in the furniture department. And Sears had a little restaurant too in that store too at the time. So the next morning I was in there helping cook breakfast for all the people that was stuck at the store.
And you just assumed we were fine at home?
Well, no, I think we.
So you're out there boozing up, taking bicycles to the mall?
No, we contacted each other, or Robert.
Yeah.
I'm sure you couldn't talk.
No.
Or not say much. And Mom, where she was, probably was calling too to see how things were.
Yeah.
So, and eventually we both got home the next day sometime.
Sure.
Been shoveled out or whatever. And as growing up, David, when in the young years, he used to follow me all around. He used to try to rake the leaves when the leaves came, and would follow me and do this and do that. He was my shadow. So, and my father disappeared for many years. In fact, we didn't know if he was still alive. But somehow we found out that he was in a home by Pulaski, New York, which is probably tops maybe 2.5 hour drive from where we lived, a place called Orwell. It's run by a Catholic priest, and it was for alcoholics and people that were alcoholics or drug addicts, and they would try to help them out. So,
just for men.
Just for men, right? No, I don't know. It might have changed then since then. I don't think so. No, it's still just for men. So somehow we found out he was there. So I think.
How do you think you found out? Did he contact you think, or you think it was something else?
No. I'm trying to think how I found out. Oh, I know how we found out. Well, at least I think this is how we found out. Put it that way. Noreen Vizone
Yep.
knew the priest that was running that. And somehow I think they conveyed it.
Father McVeigh.
Father McVeigh, who's passed on since it's been quite a while. Anyways, told us that your father was there. So I think it was just me and Gudrun went the first time. Or I don't know if you went the first time. But I remember what I'm trying to relay is a time that I took David there. And my father's room there was not even half the size of this. And I had a bed, a big bookcase maybe, and a chair or something. That was the room. It was an old hospital that they conveyed into this kind of a home.
It was an old tuberculosis hospital.
Right. So in going there, somehow my father, like I said, was a carpenter, in the one of the buildings where he lived, they gave him part of the basement downstairs, and he made it into a workshop that he could build things and help with things around the. So eventually, when I did take David there one time,
Did you go visit him before you brought me?
I don't think I went the first time I went there. I think I was there a couple times before that.
Yeah.
I know and I remember when I took you and we went down to the basement, he showed you everything and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it difficult to go see him there the first couple times?
Pardon?
Was it difficult to go see him?
Yeah, no, I think going to Evangel helped me straighten that out a little
Yeah.
bit. The church I go to.
And did he like vow to stay sober or anything to you? Did he apologize
Well,
to
no, not really.
you? Was he remorseful of the way he treated you?
Well, I know that one of the first times I went there to visit him, eventually I said, I'm going to take you home with us.
Mhm.
We took him home, and he stayed at the house for a while. And we of course, may stay for a couple of days or whatever. We take him back, and then we go do it again. And, or I took you and Renee there, and one of you and Mom. I took Aunt Faye there once. So, and then we did that quite often with him. And then one time we took him with us, brought us home, and he used to go for walks while I was at the house. And I was doing some work around the house, and Goodwin came home one time. He says, "Where's your dad?" "Oh, he went for a walk." "Oh, okay." He didn't come home. And I said, "Well, I don't know where he is." And Mom went to look. She said, "I'll go look."
Yeah. I know where you found him.
One of the bars you used to attend.
Yeah. The Harris Inn.
The Harris Inn, he was drinking some booze. Or beer or whatever, I don't know what he was drinking, but that's so they were where he was. So we were kind of upset with him at that.
Both you and Mom?
Yeah. So we said, "Tomorrow we're taking you back to Orwell." I remember, and we'll decide if we're going to bring you back again. But we did it. Either way, we did it. We did bring him back. But
Was he ashamed or remorseful?
yeah, he was. He knew he did something wrong.
Yeah.
He knew he did something wrong. Yeah, we were upset about it.
Yeah.
So,
Did he admit that he had a problem?
well, he kind of knew. I remember he knew Mom died. My
Yeah.
mother, your grandmother, and he was remorseful of that.
Yeah.
Because I used to, I don't know if I mentioned it here anywhere, that I remember defending my mom when he would come home drunk and try to, he's trying to beat her up, or David, and I had to defend her. So that's what I remember that a lot. So I remember that. That's why I didn't want to drink when David was. I made a commitment that I wasn't going to drink for how long I didn't drink for. Now the only thing I drink is really wine. Basically, I have NA beer, not any of this stuff there. I'm not alcoholic. And if David has a rare drink, I might take a sip out of it, see what it tastes like. That's it. So where are we at now?
So you had a good friend, Ken Knutson, who surprisingly went to the same high school.
Yeah, he went. No, he went to Seneca Vocational.
I thought you guys went to the same school but different years. Didn't he go to what was it called?
Yes, he went to Burgard too. He took up printing or shipbuilding.
But
Yeah, that's right. But he was in the same school at the time when I was there.
and
But he graduated a year earlier.
earlier,
Or maybe 2 years.
He was younger, even though he looked much older than you. He looked older. Someone thought you were his son once.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Yeah, he was older than me. I had to remember that. I remember I can tell that story too.
so where did you meet Ken? Was it at Evangel?
I was at the church Evangel.
And Ken somehow convinced you to go on a canoe trip.
Well,
Or how long did you know Ken before you went on this first
well, I knew
trip?
Ken. I knew Ken. But one day we had a speaker who was a minister at our church, and who was a Royal Ranger leader at one time. Royal Ranger is it's a Boy Scout, not a Boy Scout. It's a scouting group that's from the Assembly of God churches, and they were founded in 1982 by blah blah blah. And at the time he was, after he preached kind of a sermon, he was kind of relating that the boys are trying to get more leaders in this outpost at this church. So he had a calling out that any men who want to get into this, would you please stand? And at that time, I was singing in a choir. I don't sing well, but I sing good with a group. Well, somewhat well. So I was one of and David was born then, or was around for a while then. So I was one of the men that stood up. There was about 6 of us. So eventually, with the job I had at Sears, I couldn't be that active in it, but I started attending it and being into it. But I couldn't meet their meetings on Wednesday nights because I work nights a lot of times. In retail, that's what happens. So, but eventually I got a position with Sears that I could say that I didn't want to work Wednesday nights. I could work other nights. But still, it was kind of hard to get weekends off to go camping because, and again, in the retail business. So one of the commanders at this outpost was Ken Knutson. Big guy, blonde, from Norway. And we got to know each other well. And he says, we do canoeing. Would you like to come? So I said, sure, I would love to. Where are we going to go? He said, we can go to no place way up in Canada, about 7 hours from here. Okay, sounds good to me. What do I have to have? I did a little canoeing in Sweden on my visits, but they were just little jumps and puddles. Well, they weren't puddles, but still, it was not the kind that we were going to get into. So we went up to this place called Temagami. And I thought, well, I'll bring David along. He's just going to be 7, or he's turning 7 while we're up there. This is in July. So here I go, me, him, and another boy from Sweden, Lasse, was with us on that trip. And this is we started out canoeing in a place called Temagami, where you have to find the campsites, do portages. That's when you got to carry your canoe from one body of water to the next body of water with all the gear that you have. So that was an experience. It was.
You went for a week, that first trip?
Well, if it wasn't a week, it was very close to a week, but it probably was a week.
So he didn't have to do much convincing to bring you?
No, not at all. Because I wanted to make sure David was going to go with me. And
And how many people were on that first trip?
Well,
It wasn't just the 4 of us. It was like 15, 20, right?
15, 20, boys and men. And Ken didn't care who he took really with you. No, I mean, as far as age and experience, no, he didn't. And you could take as many, it didn't matter, because they didn't have a sign. You didn't have to get a permit. You didn't have so many people you could have at a campsite like they have up in Algonquin. But, so we went. And we got through it okay. And David, he had his little backpack too, which he had to carry. He had to put some stuff in it to carry along the way. But he didn't do much. He couldn't do much paddling. He was in the middle of the canoe, and after a while, know what he was doing? I got pictures of him just sleeping in the middle of the canoe. And then. And at night he would sleep in the tent with boys, and next morning sometime he wasn't in the tent, he rolled out. He didn't want to go in the water. He didn't want to take his bathing pants off or his swimming trunks. He didn't want to be skinny dipping. No, didn't want to do any of that, but he's learned. He's different now. So we did that for many years, and it wasn't once a year. We used to go twice a year.
And we were just getting to the end of the story of the canoe trips with David.
Yeah,
up in Canada.
we did it every for years, twice a year, way up in Canada. And I'm trying to think I know the first time we went to Algonquin, who we went with, but was that before you went to Sweden? Or-
I believe so.
Okay, I thought it was. We decided Memorial Day weekend we were going to go canoeing again, but Ken said we had to go someplace different. There's a big provincial park up in Canada called Algonquin Provincial Park. It's huge, and it has many access points. You have to. At that time, you didn't have to have a permit. Yeah, you had to have a permit, but it didn't matter what you brought in or how many you. If it did, we didn't know about it. Put it that way, the first time. So David was going to come, and Ken was a school teacher, and he was going to take one of his school pupils with him too that would go with us. And Ken had a Toyota pickup truck. Now, do you stay in the back all the way up there?
Yeah.
Okay. And him and the boy, it was a two-seater. Me and Ken were there, and the two boys were in the back all the way up there. It was probably a 5.5 hour to go there. And we didn't get to leave late, so we're driving up, and we decided we can't get a canoe today and make a jaunt with it. We'll have to stay at a campsite and then go in the morning. And as we're driving up along the road, every once in a while we see a moose in this park. Just, coming down and eating or crossing the road. Not many, just a couple we only see. So we finally get into a campsite. We said, well, I don't know if we set 2 tents up or just one, and we all slept in it. I don't know. Well, we set the tents up, and we said we'd get up in the morning, get a breakfast somewhere, or have a breakfast. We had it or whatever with us. And we would go get the canoes. So next morning we got up, we went down, went to Lake Opeonga. It's one of the biggest lakes there. Got the canoes, and we started off. The two canoes, two men and 2 boys. And Opeonga's a long lake. And we said we're going to go try to get to the farthest place to get to, way up at the point. And we make it. We set up the tents and so forth. We make a dinner and so forth, and go in. And we said we'll get up in the morning. We'll take a little jaunt. So we wake up the next morning, have breakfast, and we get in the canoes. We're going to stay there at least one day, I think. So let's go over to this bog area. That's a little jaunt there to get there. And we start going into this bog area. And I couldn't believe what was there. There had to be 30 moose all around this bog area. I mean, it was big bog area. It wasn't small. And most of them were down there. They probably came from the mountains or wherever they stayed, and they were eating the fresh things that were growing in the lake because it was Memorial Day. It's warmer now, and this things is growing. And you could, if you were calm, you could paddle from here maybe to that bench there, and they wouldn't, maybe a little further, not much, and they would continue not bother you at all. It was just amazing what was there. We canoed and went closer to this one and went over to this, and the big one with the, and it was, just couldn't believe it.
Because we went to Temagami for so many years and didn't see a thing.
Didn't see in Temagami. I think we seen bears, I think, at Temagami. A bear one time, and he was swimming across the water. But other than that, we didn't see anything. And I couldn't believe all it. So this was unreal. And then we made trips around, didn't we?
Yeah.
I don't know if we went on a route or anything, but we were just up there Memorial Day weekend, which was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and came back Monday, because that's what we did.
Okay.
Because you had to go to school again. We took you out of school on Friday, but you had to be to school on Tuesday. So I remember it. Ken had a teacher, the school teacher. So that's what we did for a lot of years after that. We went to Toboggan every year, take a different route and go different. And almost every year that I've been up there, we have seen moose, but not to that quantity. See, they don't allow hunting up there at all. At least the parts that there's the southern part that they supposedly do, I'm told. But only
Algonquin we're talking about.
Algonquin. I'm talking about Algonquin, not Toboggan. We've never seen a moose up there. Never seen really anything up there.
Never seen a moose in Temagami.
Yeah. Now at Temagami, I don't know how old David was when he was on this trip. The island we went on, the Indians didn't want us to go on it.
Mm-hmm.
It was up on a big rock. It looked like. I mean, huge to get up there. Bring all your tents up there.
I think it was Bear Island.
Bear Island it could have been. So we're on there anyways, and the boys try to do this all the time. David was a little older, wasn't 7 anymore. I don't know how old he was. Not much older though. But they used to like jumping off rocks, or this. And we're up high in this one. This one we're up high, and everybody was jumping off, including this guy. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
It was, it wasn't. Oh, I don't know. And then all of a sudden you just jump and go into your feet first. So that I had to remember that story. And everybody jumping. David too. Wow. Me too. Wow. Everybody. Well, but the best canoeing is at Algonquin, at least around here. We went to Boundary Waters in Minnesota one time. I mean, it was nice skiing. It was different there. It was nice, but Algonquin's so much nicer, I think.
Boundary Waters is very similar to Algonquin.
But you didn't see no wildlife, though.
Well, you had to do a lot of effort to get there too. You had to get a plane and all
yeah,
that.
take a plane, somebody pick you up at the airport, take you to where they are. Then they don't want you to have your sleeping bag they wanted to sell you everything, which was, I think, was smarter in the long run, but it's still. But that was. So we did a lot of canoeing, and we did a lot of hiking the Adirondacks. There's 46 peaks. My goal was to do all of them, but I never did. I think I got about 18 or something like that. But, it was boys like David that got me on top of Mount Marcy the first time. And one of the first times we went up there, we didn't have snowshoes. We had Crip-ons, I think. And maybe we didn't even have those. Other than that, we probably dressed properly, but...
No, we didn't dress properly.
Well, anyways, we're going to... There's a 3.5 mile hike to the cabin we stayed at. And David always he was gone. He'd be there, and if we were all, I would be, not everybody, there was always a few that were fast, fun to get up and back. So we got there, we stayed a night, then we were going to do Mount Marcy the next day. And we always were there, most of the time there was snow on the mountains. And I think this time was one of them. It was either in November or March or April. I can't remember when. So we're going up to do Mount Marcy, which is the tallest mountain in New York State. And we're going up there and there's snow. And not having proper shoes on, every time I would take a step, it'd sink into the snow. I'd take this one out, sink into the snow. Take this one out, sink into the snow. And and the boys are doing pretty good. And we're getting closer to the top. And I don't know. I said, I don't think I can make it. And they all said, come on, Commander Ron, you can make it. We'll help you. We can make it. Well, I made it to the top. If it wasn't for the boys encouraging me, I wouldn't have made it. But It wasn't only the first time I was to Mount Marcy, I've been there a couple times. And then we used to take the family up there too, and our 2 dogs that we own. My wife, Gudrun, David. I'm trying to think who was on us this one trip. You, David. When we did Gothics. Remember?
No, I remember Gothic, so I can't tell you who's on this trip.
Well, the trip, I'll tell you, maybe you'll remember who. We had the 2 dogs, Sammy and
Pepsi.
Pepsi. Well, I thought I have climbed Gothics before. And we're getting to the top, and I'm thinking I'm at the top again. And David says, this might have been after you graduated from college. He says, nah, you're not at the top yet. You might have thought you were at the top before. He says, it's further up. So we had to go, and then you took us up higher to where the top was. So at that time, the first time I wasn't really there.
No, I think you're mixing stories, but
Okay.
I think you're talking about, this is Upper Wolfjaw you're talking about. Because Upper Wolfjaw is the false summit. Gothic says the cable.
Yeah, they had a cable.
Okay.
It was Gothics, I remember.
Okay. I might be mistaken.
Yeah, it was Gothics, I remember that. Yeah, Gothics has the cable, yeah. Via Drake. So,
Yeah.
well, yeah, Little Wolfjaw was, yeah, I had trouble getting up there, I remember too, but Gothics, I thought I was there. No, I've been there, David. We're at the top. No, you're not. He says it's up further. I know. So, and we used to try to go there twice a year too. In the winter and in the fall. Oh, winter and the spring. So that went on for years. I haven't been around this in a long time. I mean, to a mountain. So, what's next?
So eventually, Ken Knudsen got Lou Gehrig's disease.
When we were in Boundary Waters,
Yeah,
there was 8 of us, I think.
that's correct.
And Ken Knudsen was about 6'4", 250 pounds. Me and him used to do skiing together and everything, so forth. And Ken wasn't, well, can I tell a story about Ken?
You can do what you gotta do.
Oh, good. We're in Buffalo now before we take the flight there. And at that time we had you couldn't have anything.
It was after 9/11.
Yeah, after 9/11. So, you couldn't have any knives on you or whatever the case may be. So we all go through checking in and so forth and going to where you're going to load for wait for the plane to take off and get on. And Ken's sitting there and we're sitting there and Ken gets the bag he's carrying on and he pulls out his knife, fork, and spoon. I said, how'd you get that through, Ken? I just told the guy, we're going camping up in Boundary Waters, and this is my knife, fork, and spoon I got to have with me. I said, you can't have that with you, Ken. He said, well, that's nice. I told the guy. He said, oh, go ahead. I said, you could talk a guy into anything, couldn't you? Here it is right after 9/11, and you got a knife, fork, and spoon. I mean, it might not have been a real sharp one, but it was still a knife of some sort. I couldn't believe he could talk to anybody. I remember going skiing. You sat on a thing going onto the ski slope, a 4-seater, just 2 of us. Somebody else is there, and all of a sudden, Ken will start talking to him. You talk to anybody, start anywhere. Well, when we were in Boundary Waters this time, Ken was always, he was a good go. I can carry this, do this. You really couldn't carry the canoe or his backpack. And I knew something was wrong with him the year before sometime when we were skiing. Coming down the hills, he wasn't always with me. He would rest a lot, but I didn't think nothing of it. But here we could tell something was wrong. And this was when we were there in July or August. Well, either way. So, we took care of his pack or the canoe the whole trip. Then we came back, and I guess his family told him they wanted to have a physical, see what was wrong. He had Lou Gehrig's disease. There's no cure for it. And here's a man 6'4", 6'5", 230, 240, big guy. And that was, say, July or August we were there. He didn't make his next birthday. In February, he passed. So, I mean, he was my mentor. He brought me along. He was the one that encouraged me to be in the Scout Good Call Rangers, and I'm still there. I'll have 40 years in a couple of years, and I think that's my end right there. If I get to 40 years, I'm done. I mean, I'm saying that now. It'll change. It's really been a great experience for me, and for him too. He wouldn't be what he does today if it wasn't for the Royal Rangers. He wouldn't have grown up in that atmosphere. He wouldn't have all that knowledge. Living on a dirt road for his whole life now. The last 3 houses he owned were dirt roads. Well, it was very instrumental to what he does. And he loves the outdoors. Meeting Shonda, wow. She loves the outdoors. They both love to cook. They love to cook. And they blend in so well. They really do. They really do. But the thing that amazes him, David, so much. Make me cry now. And it's nothing I did. Well, yeah, it's something that I can't. He's not afraid to tackle anything. I mean, he can, when he got the Jeep, taking the carburetor off and doing this and doing so he get it wrong, or having trouble with the furnace, the oil burner at the house in Melrose, going in there and getting it fixed somehow, and making it real neat down there, building what he builds. He didn't get that from me. I don't have any of that ability. So when he takes something on, he's going to complete it. And how, I don't know. He doesn't. He's not afraid to take the challenge, but get in there and do it. And that's what amazes me. Who we got it from, I don't know. Or maybe it's just Gudrun, because she's Swedish, and that's part of it. I mean, that would be his grandfather in Sweden too, somewhat. But not from me, and that's, he buys this and he builds those garden boxes out there. I mean, I know I would have trouble doing it. And tackling some of the stuff he tackles. Taking care of this, taking care of building this, fixing this. I'm not afraid, he does it. It is, I'm really proud of him. And of Shonda too. Because they're well knitted together. To be where they are. And that they are there. And they have a son now. Or, could have been a daughter. That's great too. That is.
Okay, well, we've gotten to the end of this file here.
Not unless you got something else you wanted to bring up.
I think that's perfect.
Okay, cool.